which goes by another name, mutilation of the body. Wrongly. I'll make no bones. He would sit there for hours on any subject. And then he would return home from the command center and direct the largest youth organization. I ridiculed him and attacked his credibility. He was my opponent. But I would never wish death upon him or anything like that. And a lot of differences.
Video mode.
Own iniquities, all of us, and not just the killers and the scoundrels and not just the obviously evil people, but also sometimes ourselves. Assuredly, everybody, you and I, everybody. So we have to take those things into consideration. We have to be humble about these things. And that's obvious. Obviously, evil people, but also sometimes ourselves. Assuredly, everybody, you and I, everybody. So we have to take those things into consideration. We have to be humble about these things. And that's just a word of caution. That's me trying to do my best to be responsible here before we get into the larger subject. So we'll talk about it now. As you know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday afternoon doing one of his Change My Mind events, his college tour. It was one of the first stops on his new college tour in Utah.
Okay, so for some reason, Rumble right now is having a really bad issue with the lag. You guys know Nick Fuentes is he's been a longtime rival of Charlie Kirk. And everybody was gutted by this, including myself. If you guys are here from yesterday, then you know just how painful this was. I worked with him. I'm very proud to call him a friend, but Nick is not a friend of Charlie Kirk. And they have their issues. There were things that happened with them. So everybody was waiting for a response from Nick. What's he going to say? He's known for being pretty out there, outlandish. He doubles and triples and quadruples down. And so right now he starts off with a word of caution. Let's be careful. Let's be smart. Let's be strategic. And see, mainstream media will never show you that part because they come in with a narrative and they are going to be divisive. They are going to tell you that he was, using this for anti-Semitism, using this for XYZ or whatever that may be. But they're never going to show you what he started off by saying. which was to be careful, be respectful, no violence. And maybe he will say something, maybe he won't. We will get back into it. And Rumble, fix your shit, please.
Word of caution is this. Of course, as I said, I was not a friend of Charlie Kirk's at all. I didn't like him. He didn't like me. We had a lot of differences, ideologically, politically, and we fought viciously. He did a lot to stifle my career and suppressed me in many ways, and I antagonized him a lot and mocked him and ridiculed him and attacked his credibility. He was my opponent. But I would never wish death upon him or anything like that. And Charlie Kirk never had a kind word to say about me in his life. Now that he has died, I'll say some kind words about him. Although I didn't agree with him, I considered him a part of the political establishment. In many ways, I considered him part of the problem. In spite of that, it is undeniable that he was a towering figure in American conservatism. It's undeniable. He was ambitious. He was a hard worker. He did things I cannot do. A lot of people said after his passing, I saw some people make oblique references to it. They said, well, if Charlie Kirk was assassinated, now the far right will step up. I don't know that there's anyone that could fill his shoes. I don't know that there's anyone that can do what he did. He died at 31 years old and left a legacy that many people could not achieve in many lifetimes. He hosted a show 3 hours a day. He went and faced down his enemies in debate. He would take on almost any challengers. I say almost because he wouldn't debate me, of course, but nevertheless, would debate anybody, anywhere, stare them down, and people don't know how difficult that is. He would sit there for hours on any subject, and then he would return home from the command center and direct the largest youth organization, the most ambitious project in conservative politics maybe ever, and he did it all before the age of 31. An absolutely brilliant,
amazing,
sharp,
amazing,
fierce warrior for his values and his beliefs. And as I said, I disagreed with them strongly. I'll make no bones about that, and that hasn't changed. But you have to admire that this was a fighter, this was a worker, this was a champion, and above all else, maybe this is what I respected about him the most. We had our disagreements. Where we did agree is that he would go to these college campuses and proclaim the name of Jesus Christ. And ultimately, that is why he was killed. And when you look at his most vicious detractors, the people celebrating his death now, possibly, probably, the gunmen that killed him, they hated him because of his defense of Christian morality. He wasn't killed necessarily, perhaps, by a socialist or by someone who disagreed about his position on fiscal policy. And this is something I think we all need to take into account, something we need to be aware of and notice. The most vicious, hateful opponents of the conservative movement of all stripes, they are the ones championing transgenderism, which goes by another name, mutilation of the body, a disordering of the soul. It's the proponents of abortion, which is some form of child sacrifice, at the minimum, infanticide. These are the most vicious, violent, hateful detractors of even a moderate conservative like Charlie Kirk because he stood up for those biblical values.
Yeah.
I'll say it better. Christian values.
Yeah.
Christian morality, for Christ himself, for the truth incarnate. And for that, I consider him a true martyr.
Wow.
And I hope his reward is in heaven.
Wow. That's
I'll
big.
also say he was clearly a loving
That's big. Nick's a Catholic. That's really big.
father, a loving husband. He was beloved by millions of people. That is obvious. And although I do not count myself among his fans, it was clear that millions upon millions of decent, earnest, good people, Christians, patriots, they did love him.
Absolutely.
And he belongs to them. And out of respect for them, I say that Charlie Kirk was a good man. God bless him.
Yeah.
And despite our differences, our past debates, I consider that over.
Yes.
And I pray for the repose of his soul, for his family, for him. That's Charlie Kirk. Now,
I recently saw a video about this. This is kind of emotional because, once again, I mean, I'm a huge advocate for peace, specifically with Nick and some of the more anti-Zionist people. And so whenever I do work in these spaces, I try to ease the prejudice that happens. And this was something that I was fighting for. This was something that I was fighting for because Christians have to look out for Christians. And I think that it ending like this is really sad because we wanted them to debate. We did want the marketplace of ideas. That was Charlie's vision. That was going to happen soon. Absolutely.
aside from that, it's important to say that it's obviously a horrific thing. And I think that what is so striking about it is because it became so real in that moment. It was such a graphic video. This is somebody that we felt like we all knew. I never met him. I never shook his hand. I never spoke with him. I saw him, and I've been at arm's length with him before, but I never knew him. But to us, he was imminent. He was ubiquitous. He was all over TikTok, making content. He was synonymous with campus conservatism. And like many personalities, politicians, the kind of medium that he used, social media, live streaming, we all developed a parasocial relationship with him. And whether we loved him or we hated him, he was known to us. And other people that we know die, but they die in hospitals or they die when we're not looking. He was publicly executed, suddenly, unexpectedly, in front of millions of people on camera. And we saw in graphic detail his life end that way. I think that's why this is having such a profound effect on people. And the reason that it has shaken everybody to their core, and in some ways, unconscionably has become divisive somehow, is because there are a lot of decent people still left in this country. And maybe they're right wing and maybe they're left wing and maybe they voted for Trump and maybe they didn't. But in that moment, when they saw this young man, this young father, this young husband, a good man, a congenial, by every metric, a positive, cheerful person, a generative person, someone who loved America, fought for what he believed in, a disciplined person, did not indulge in vices, a family man, to see someone like this gunned down in cold blood in such a cowardly act from such a distance like that. In that moment, what was confusing before about our country, what was divisive before, where there was moral confusion or obfuscation, there was clarity. And I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what your politics are. People, white and black, men and women, feminists, conservatives, people that are straight, people that are gay. I saw across Instagram, TikTok, a good deal of people, I hope the majority in this country, were shaken to their core because they saw true evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the assassin's bullet cracked and the shot rang out and people saw this young, good man die for no good reason, someone knowable to us. every decent person that still has a conscience, and I choose to use that word, everyone with a conscience was able to say clearly, that is evil, that is wrong. It is wrong to violate the sanctity of life in that way. Our lives are not our own. We belong to each other. We belong to God. We did not create ourselves. We belong to our Creator.
Yeah.
To see another human being, I don't care what they've said in the past. I don't care what their opinions are. To see someone summarily executed in such a brutal way like that, there was a moment of clarity where people saw, and this is an all too familiar sight, people saw evil. And it shocked them to their core.
And they're seeing it escape.
People saw true evil, weakness, cowardice, violence, hatred, taking away someone who loved and was loved for no reason, unjustly. And people reacted with sorrow, outrage, anger, made people sick. It shook people up because we were born with a moral law written on our hearts. It's not just written in the Gospels. It's not just written in the lives of the saints. It's also written on our hearts. We know right from wrong. We know it when we see it. We feel it. We feel it on a deeper level. It makes us physiologically sick to see it. I think that's why it had such a profound impact. And the reason that it has people so shaken up, another reason, as I said before, is because this is the middle of a very long story. As we all know, this did not come out of nowhere. There were many events that precipitated this. We can talk about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump last year when he was shot in the ear.
Yep.
And his display of strength, of courage, in the face of a cowardly attack, inspired millions of people, billions of people around the world. They saw that little twerp, that coward that climbed up on the roof and took a shot. And they saw Trump in that moment who had nothing on his mind other than that he needed to reassure his people, show them he was not defeated or deterred. He rose up and raised his fist, rallied the people to the side of strength, of goodness, of righteousness. He survived by the grace of God.
Yeah.
We saw it when Luigi Mangione gunned down the healthcare CEO months later. And like the attack on Charlie Kirk yesterday, the attack by Luigi Mangione was another chain reaction. Yep. In that moment, we saw a young man kill a father, a husband, another innocent. Once again, people say he worked for some company, he worked for an evil industry. Shot in cold blood, no trial, no charge. His life was not Luigi Mangione's to take. And for some reason, this divided the country. There were millions of people that said he was a hero, treated him like a sex icon, a champion.
Yep.
They made T-shirts. They celebrated. Is anybody surprised now that you have incidents like this? Is anybody the least bit surprised? In a culture where mass murder and murder is celebrated, people cheer it on, they lionize cowardly assassins and killers. Is anybody the least bit surprised that it inspired a copycat? It inspired another? It shouldn't come as a surprise.
No, it's not.
But there's other echoes of the violence that we saw yesterday. We saw it imminently just the other week when that young girl, the Ukrainian refugee, was stabbed to death on the train.
Gosh.
We saw it when Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the throat.
What a week.
At a football practice. We see it in Gaza for years when innocent people are shot in the back of the head getting food for their children because they're starving. The weight of the suffering, the cruelty, the malice, the hatred, it's becoming too much to bear. I think that's the real reason. because we've seen violence before. We've seen horrible atrocities before. We've seen school shootings, terrorist attacks. But we all recognize we live in a time of nihilistic violence. And it's coming from all sides.
Yep.
Nihilistic violence perpetrated by barbarians, like these opportunists and predators, these young, mostly adolescent black men that are preying upon the innocent and the vulnerable on city subways, city streets. We see it in the barbarism, the predatory, opportunistic attacks, executions, random, cruel acts of violence. We see it in Zionism. Dare I say, in a certain strain of the Jewish religion, which says that the people of Palestine are collectively responsible for the actions of Hamas. None of them are innocent. They all must die. And sitting members of Congress like Randy Fine celebrates famine, starving women and children, 1 million people under the age of 18 being blown to smithereens, being starved forcibly. We see it in another form, which is leftism. Communists, anarchists. There is a certain strain of radical transsexuals. For them, everything is political. Everything is ideological. All this propaganda that's got them whipped up about fascism, a trans genocide, about the healthcare system. They believe the meaning of life is a political struggle, a political victory. And so they have no love, no charity towards their opponents. These are the different strains of nihilistic violence coming from all angles that we've seen. And notice it comes from everywhere. It comes from the political left. And by the political left, I don't mean every Democrat. I don't mean every liberal. I don't mean every Kamala voter. I mean a specific sect of the radical left that recognizes no limiting principles. We see that kind of nihilistic violence from a certain crowd of Jewish Zionists and their allies. Some evangelical Christians, atheistic Jews that are sympathetic, that wield immense influence in our government, and they want to wield our military against their adversaries. And we see it in the barbarians. We see it in the unthinking, primitive, backwards, regressive, you could say, undeveloped masses of people in other unenlightened parts of the world that are coming here and visiting the savagery upon us. And if there is anything that can come out of this, I hope that it can be potentially a new consensus. This is not partisan, actually.
Oh.
It's not even ideological. People do not murder children in a Catholic church because they have gender dysphoria necessarily, or they're sympathetic to transsexuals. Somebody does not murder Charlie Kirk because they voted for Kamala Harris. People do not stab young girls on trains because they're born black.
Wow.
People do not shoot Palestinians in the back of the head or cheer it on just because they're Jewish.
Wow.
The people that do this are lost. They have to be isolated and segregated out.
Exactly.
A new consensus must emerge. Are you in favor of a society with meaning?
Yeah.
A society where life is sacred, where life has sanctity, where people's lives and their dignity and their integrity is respected? Or are we going to live in a society that is a never-ending war between nihilistic tribes, warlords, savages, pagans? I see an emerging consensus.
Christ is our King. Christ is our King. Christ is our King. Christ is King in the chat. You guys, this is so important. It's not about being king. It's not about being the one who calls the shot caller. It's not about any of that. that is what people do who think that they're God. Be careful.
And I think that the mature people that actually love America, actually love our children, the people that recognize the division, the peril that we're in, we need to fortify a new consensus and rally the people of conscience, the people of decency, the people of humanity, the people of charity towards their fellow man, against those that want to kill us, against those that laugh and celebrate when innocent people are harmed.
Yeah.
For any reason, for any ideological reason, against the people that are cruel, the people that are hateful. And by that, I mean the people that are really cruel, not the people that say things you disagree with, not the people that are provocative, not the people that are sometimes angry, but the people that are really cruel and really evil. And let me be clear about this, because I understand not a lot of people are loving this message right now. This is not the message that a lot of people want to hear right now. Here's another message you can try on for size. These people that are now selling t-shirts with Charlie Kirk and a bullet wound in his neck, they cannot be negotiated with. You cannot debate with them. You cannot persuade them to vote Republican. You cannot appeal to them. You will never convince them that you're a good person, that you just want the best for everybody. You will never get them to stop hating you.
Never.
People like to say, well, can the left finally admit that they have their own problem? They'll never admit that. They'll never admit that.
He's hot.
These craven losers, that person that when Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck, instinctually got up and turned and celebrated, they have to be defeated. We can't change their minds. We can't invite them to change our minds. We can't negotiate with them. We can't invite them for a political compromise. If your gut reaction to seeing someone take a bullet in the neck and their face explode, and their young children run up to them because they were afraid of the noise, if your reaction was to grin and celebrate, you must be defeated. You must be destroyed. You must be identified, you must be isolated, and you must be eradicated from our society. Not Democrats, not leftists, not liberals, those people that would celebrate in that moment. That is pure evil, pure malice. There is no charity in a person's heart. I don't care who it is, who sees anybody get their neck exploded and celebrate like that. That's the kind of evil we're dealing with. That's the kind of evil that has taken over our society. It has become too common. People have let it fester. Like with Luigi Mangione, they thought it was cute. They thought it was glib. And look at what we have now. We are on the verge of full-on political violence and civil war. I don't think people realize what that looks like. There's going to be a lot of children without mothers and fathers, a lot of mothers and fathers grieving their dead children. I don't want that. Nobody should want that. But when it comes to evil people, cowardly, weak, evil people that snipe at Trump, at Charlie Kirk, like the gunman that came to my house last year, unfortunately, it's not always up to us which battles we fight. When they show up to your front door, when they take shots at the rally, at the Change My Mind, we don't have a choice. We have to confront evil. We have to fight evil. We can never give in to evil, and we have to win. Recognize this. If these people ever get power over us,
they do.
These people that celebrate, they sell t-shirts, they steal hats when a man is lying dead. they will hurt you. They will hurt your children, and they will destroy everything that is sacred to us, everything that we love, and they will do it with a smile. They're already doing it. They have done it. They're telling on themselves. And Sam Hyde said it very well. All their cutesy language, their word games, their sarcasm, their irony, it is dripping with malevolence, dripping with contempt, dripping with malevolence and malice. And if these people ever win, we will all suffer the same fate as Charlie Kirk. They have to be defeated utterly and fundamentally. Now, this is not a call to violence, because taking up arms against these people, what will that do? It will invite more of it.
They'll become martyrs.
The Satanists, the devil worshipers.
This is what they want. They want retaliation. They want to build up a martyr. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for another George Floyd to build up as a martyr. They want to start motivating and moving people, because guess who's scared right now? It's not you. It's not me. I'm not scared. I don't think I've ever felt more emboldened in my entire life. And by the way, for those of you that just don't really see it, or you guys aren't around, these people are being taken down. Here, look at this. Look at this. This just happened today. Somebody came into a memorial and they said F Charlie Kirk. A leftist asshole rode through a Charlie Kirk vigil on scooter in front of the Idaho State Capitol yelling F Charlie Kirk. People had enough. What happens?
This guy's gonna get fucked. Some guy.
You see what's happening? You see what happens whenever you do this? Do you see what happens? We can't control these people. These people are justified in feeling the way that they feel. You're not going to come in to us, this society where we're trying to honor the life and legacy of Charlie Kirk, and come and spit in our faces by saying F Charlie Kirk. What do you think is going to happen when you accelerate and you escalate? What do you think is going to happen? You think these people are just going to get cucked? They're just going to sit there and get cucked? They're not going to get cucked. You will get punched in the fucking face. And if it's not by somebody like you or me, it's somebody like our friends. And I'm sorry, but I'm not their king. And I don't get to tell them that what they did was wrong whenever it really isn't. It really isn't. This evil person celebrated the fact that a father and a visionary was murdered, was shot in cold blood. What do you expect?
The malevolent people that do these things, in part, they do it to stoke resentment, to stoke conflict. They take the things that we love away from us so that we will abandon God, so that we will become like them. That is, whether they know it or not, that is why they do it. That is why they are impelled to do it by spiritual, supernatural forces. I believe that. Do not mistake what I mean by defeat them. And we'll talk about that more in a moment. But I want to make that clear right now. This is not a call for violence. Here is what I will say about left-wingers, because a lot of left-wing people reached out to me and they told me, you have a responsibility. They said, we're afraid right now.
Yeah.
They said, you need to lead people away from violence. I agree with them. But where was that mentality when someone showed up at my house with a gun and failed? Those people are not reaching out then. Where was that mentality throughout all of the persecutions, all the suffering? Now, this is speaking from a place of resentment. They're afraid. They're afraid that the right is going to punch back 1,000 times as hard. And we could, and we can. And I fear that some might. And I hope to God that they don't. In some sense, the right to be afraid, we should all be afraid that something we cannot control may happen. Here is what I will say to those people. I and Charlie Kirk for years pushed a peaceful resolution. We invited the left to debate, negotiate. We played within the system. When Obama told us, you got to win elections, we tried that. And look at what they did to Trump. They shot him in the fucking head. We tried to do it your way. We tried to debate, to go to the polls, the voting booth. People ran for office, and what did they encounter? Intimidation, menacing, harassment, slander, lies, assassination attempts, and successes. Now the left says we need to bring down the temperature. Here is what I would say to the left. The left now has an obligation. You can turn down the temperature. The left in America now, everybody in America now must come together and disavow this nihilistic, malevolent violence. You all have an obligation. I have that obligation, and I think I have done it. I condemn the violence, all of it, all of the nihilistic violence, whether it comes from the far right, the far left, whether it comes from a Dylan Roof, the Buffalo shooter, or someone like this. It's your job too. You must condemn it loudly, loud enough that we can hear it, and you have to mean it. And I think of somebody like Hassan Piker, such a hollow, empty, sad person. Hassan Piker saw Charlie Kirk, someone that he knew,
We had a
get
debate.
shot in the neck and his neck erupt with blood. We don't need to be graphic about the details, but everybody should look at that long and hard and let it sit with you.
Yeah.
When Hassan saw that, his first reaction was to make a glib remark about gun control. Seriously? That's a 31-year-old man. That's a young man with a wife and kids. He got shot in cold blood, publicly executed in front of thousands of college students. Never forget the trauma of his children, of his family. What about the people that witnessed this? What about everybody that will be affected by the knock-on violence that results from this? And you hollow, sick person, your response is to make some glib remark about gun control? Fuck you. Fuck you. And here's my message to Hassan Piker and every liberal cocksucker like him.
Oh, shit.
You better disavow this violence. You better cry like Dean Withers.
Yep.
And I don't say that. Maybe that comes off like I'm
No,
humiliating
it's not
him.
a threat. It's not.
Who knows whether that was sincere or not? I hope to God that it was. And if it was, you know what? Good on him.
Yep.
That's a good kid. And he said some...
And here's something else too, man. I come after Luke Beasley a lot. I don't know how familiar you guys are. Me and Isabella worked with him in D.C. Homosexual. He's a liberal. We debated him. We went back and forth. And he called me. And he's been texting me. And I haven't responded, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that he's calling and reaching out, and he knows how important Charlie Kirk was in my life. That takes a lot. It takes a lot.
Nasty things about me. That's a kid with a conscience. He said, I don't think we should kill people for disagreeing. Is that divisive now? He had to apologize for weeping that someone he knew was murdered. That kid has a conscience. I have some faith in that generation. Here's my message to Hassan and all these smug, glib liberals like that. If you cannot, if you will not disavow this violence, we will have no choice but to consider you as no different than the killers.
Yep.
That's complicity. You could be forgiven up until this point for being irresponsible. We all get heated. We all do it. I'm guilty of it too. It makes hypocrites of all of us. We murder each other with our words all the time with our gossip, our slander. We overreact. We say things we don't mean. We get angry.
Yeah.
We harbor grudges and resentment, things that we should not. And that's not to excuse it. But the day that someone gets shot for the disagreement, if you can't bring yourself to show the slightest ounce of humanity to a moderate Republican who got killed for no reason, this is a moment we all recognize could set us down the path towards a civil war, could set us down the path towards unbelievable horror, suffering, bloodshed. If you can't bring yourself, even for the selfish sake of yourself or your own people or your own pathetic side, to show the slightest ounce of humility, of mercy, of magnanimity, benevolence, charity, then you are no better than the killer. And that means that you must be destroyed politically as well. That's not a call to violence. But people like that have to be suppressed.
That's not a call to violence.
They should be censored on the internet.
Yep.
They need to be named and shamed. And this is where I say, what does victory look like? Here's what it looks like in the short term. This is a very delicate situation. This is a very delicate situation. I fear that this has set off a chain reaction. I pray to God there is no further violence. I pray to God that nobody else is hurt as a result of this. I hope that it stops here. It should stop here. To all of my followers, if you take up arms, I disavow you, I disown you in the strongest possible terms. That is not what we are about. And the same goes obviously for the other side. And I want to make that very clear. It would be a profound moral, political mistake for anybody to take the bait.
Yep.
And to engage in any kind of reprisal, retaliation, revenge. Remember, we are the good side. And what makes us good is that we have Christ. What makes Christianity and Christ so different from the other religions is that our religion is based on the bearing of suffering for the sake of even those that persecute us. An overflowing of love, an overflowing of self-giving love, so much of it cannot be contained. An unconditional, absolute standard of love for all of God's children, even those that are misguided, even those that persecute us, even the most heinous among us. That is what makes us different. That is what makes us good. You think you're good? You're not. You are not good. I am not good. You are a man. I am a man. You are a sinner. I am a sinner. We cannot save ourselves. We cannot save this world. God can save us. God can save the world. And God saves us and God saves the world by drawing all of us up onto the cross with him. And we join not just in his glory, but in his suffering. Real suffering, not imaginary, not a nice story, real suffering, real death, real destruction, real misery.
Yeah.
We bear a cross like Christ bears a cross, like his disciples, like the martyrs, like the saints bear a cross. And you better get comfortable up there. Drink up. And you bear that cross, not for your kin, not for yourself, not for your children, which are an extension of yourself. You bear that cross and that suffering. You drink from that chalice for your enemies. For those that persecute you. For those that hate you for the sake of Christ. That doesn't mean we let them hurt us. It doesn't mean we let them take over our country. But it does mean that we do not lower ourselves to their level.
Yeah.
It does mean that we do not resort to our own powers, our own machinations, our own plans, our own pride, with vengeance, with retaliation.
What a humbling...
Vengeance belongs to God.
Gosh, Rumble really needs to fix their interface. What a humbling message. Such humility and grace and tact right here with Fuentes. And I just want to say I'm really proud. I'm really proud of him for this. I'm really proud of where he's going with this and what he's saying. And this is, I think this is the main reason why it was hard for me to ever turn on Nick, because I was forced into a space with him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know the backlash. I didn't know anything like that. It wasn't a calculation or a move that I made. It wasn't some strategy or some plan that I had. It was that we had mutual friends, and they weren't Nazis. Our mutual friends were libertarians, neocons, and extremists. We all shared one thing. We understood virtue and morality, and that was the difference between us. And I met him there, had a conversation with him there, and then I read up on him because I was told I shouldn't have done that. And I was like, wow, this doesn't ring a bell. And then I went to Holy War, one of his events, and this is what he did. This is what he did. He motivated young men to pursue virtue and to be of sound mind and to be smart and to know what you're doing and to have a mission, a goal, a plan.
God is both merciful and just, and no one can say they have faith in God if they do not have faith in God's perfect justice, which we cannot understand, which is hard to accept, sometimes impossible. But that's what it is to be a Christian. That's what it was like to be the first Christians, to watch God himself nailed to a cross for the sake of everyone. You cannot tell me you have faith in God if you don't have faith that all of those people that seek to hurt us will ultimately meet their divinely appointed justice at God's hands, but not our own. Those lives are not ours to take. Now, in the meantime, how do we defeat these people so that they cannot hurt us? We have a right to exist. We have a right to defend ourselves. And this is going to be a consistent theme here. The first thing that we need to do, and everybody needs to be on the same page here, right, left, middle, I am calling on everybody. Today we are all Americans. Today we are all Christians, in that we want the cycle of retributive vengeance and violence to stop. In that sense, today, we are all Christians, whether culturally, religiously, we are all Americans. We all want to see our country pull through. We all want to see our loved ones survive. Liberal or conservative, we all want to be around for the next Christmas. We all want to see our children graduate college in the spring. I'm calling on everybody. We all have a place in this. Everybody must condemn this violence. You don't need to condemn Kamala Harris. You don't need to condemn liberalism. You don't need to condemn whatever issue it is. You must condemn the violence at the minimum. The nihilistic violence has to stop. And today I would stand like any other day, shoulder to shoulder, with any one of my enemies, any one of them. Anybody that ordinarily they would think I would find them disgusting. You know, somebody who I least expected. I'm not even going to say who it is. You would not believe. Somebody hits me up and says, I'm the exact kind of person you would absolutely hate. I don't hate anybody. But that person, all these people have to be joined up for the sake of America, for the sake of humanity, and say we disavow the nihilistic violence. It is intolerable in our society. It must be absolutely suppressed, suffocated. It has to be snuffed out. The light has to defeat the darkness the day after this death. The left, the right, everybody must say this has to stop. It should be an easy bar to clear. And for those that don't, I think I speak for everybody when I say, for the people that are interrupting the vigils for the young man who was killed and yelling, "Fuck Charlie Kirk," for the people that are selling t-shirts, mocking his execution, for the people that are saying he deserved it for some such other reason, these people must be ostracized from our society. We must identify them. We must have them fired from their jobs. They must be censored on social media. There must be a cost. Because
wait. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? What? They should be censored? What? We should use the full force of the government like it was used against you? Whenever you got your Facebook and your crazy uncle got his Facebook banned and you weren't allowed to talk about certain things and you weren't allowed to say don't take the COVID vaccine and you weren't allowed to be skeptical? When that happened to you, I don't even for a second get on your high horse and act like this hasn't happened. Stop gaslighting yourself. If this is you, stop gaslighting yourself into thinking that this force wasn't used on you.
if there isn't, this will continue. If there isn't, their ridicule, their provocations, their antagonism, it will provoke more violence. It will spawn, it will generate more violence. Copycats. Those people must be named. They must be shamed publicly. They must be penalized. Don't hurt them. Don't give them the satisfaction. Don't make them martyrs. Don't stoop to their level. But that guy who laughed when Charlie Kirk was shot, this guy needs to answer for why he did that. This guy should not be able to find a living. This guy should not be able to find harbor. Let him crawl on his belly across this country, finding no refuge. Because people that are complicit in evil like that do not belong in a decent society. That black individual that jumped over the fence and started stealing MAGA hats while Charlie Kirk was dead in an ambulance or in an SUV, that guy needs to be named and shamed too. Is nothing sacred? Does anything matter? Is there any humanity? How dare you? How dare you? We will not, cannot live in a society with people like that. Somebody like that needs to be named and shamed. They must hang their head in shame until there is some repentance on their side. Fortunately, our religion believes in forgiveness.
Redemption.
But there must be a penance here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to say you're sorry. You have to be penalized in some way. This cannot go unanswered anymore. That's what happened when Luigi Mangione killed that guy. That's what happened when Trump got shot and everybody made fun of it. How many more times does it have to happen? Everybody is accountable to say this does not have a place in our society, and we must shame the people that think this is okay. This is not okay. And if you think it is, what kind of society are we going to live in? Is that how we solve our problems? We kill each other? Well, but Charlie Kirk said this. Okay, well, we disagree with you. Should we go and shoot you in your house? What is our country going to become? Who's going to run our country? The toughest warlord? Where do you think that goes? This is how you solve problems? You get a gun like a coward and sneak up behind someone and shoot him in the head?
You sit behind them.
What? They don't.
You sit behind them on a train. You stab them relentlessly. That's what you do. And listen, everybody in the chat who wants to say, "Oh, I'm going to pick up my sword. I'm going to go out." Do it. If that's what you think you're called to do, then go and do it. But know this, that it's going to lead you in a path of darkness. You will have to hide. You will have to hide your face. You will have to permanently be in the closet. Because if you want to operate like that, you're cut. You're not allowed. You're not this level of low IQ, low impulse control. No. The problem is that enough people are not doing this. The problem is that enough people in the black community want to be friendly with the gangbangers and not say, hey, I can't. You bring chaos. You're an agent of chaos. You bring chaos into my home. You're divisive. And now I have to protect myself from this influence.
Like you, so they're going to do it to you and you do it back. And pretty soon we have a country that's run by warlords. We have rule by the most brutal, the most cruel, the most malevolent. Nobody wins in a society like that. After millions of corpses are stacked up, we will be ruled by the most brutal tyrant you could ever imagine. Is that the kind of society you want to live in? That's where this is headed. Obviously. And in some sense, the left is right to be scared because the right is more proficient in violence. The left is more willing, the right is more capable. What do you think happens in a civil war? You already see the cruelty of some people on the right. You know, I'm sure there are people on the left that are saying, is this really what the left needs? Is another transsexual or pro-liberal someone bringing down heat on all of them? Good luck.
Yep. No, it's a great point. It's a very necessary point. This is not what the left wants. They already got slaughtered. They got slaughtered whenever Donald Trump won. 4 years of your January 6th bullshit, your media bullshit, your propaganda, none of it worked. This is not what they want. If they want to regain power, they are shell-shocked. They are shocked. They are saddened because their movement right now just took a bigger bullet. It took a bigger bullet. It was bigger. When you hit that, when you live by that sword, you die by that sword. When you go and you do things like this, it comes back to you. It comes back to the movement, to the mission. Terrible, terrible. This is why everybody's fighting. Who was it? Who is it? Who is it? Well, is it the Jews? Is it the Muslims? Is it the leftists? Is it the liberals? Is it the Democrats? Is it the Biden supporters? Who was it? Who did it? It was the people who hate Christianity. It was the people who hate America. That's who did it.
You know, it's like the Dark Knight. You're telling me that Donald Trump is a billionaire who's also secretly a fascist, racist, empowered by Palantir and AI surveillance, and your job is to dare that administration to create tyranny? You know, and not to sound glib or whatever, but this is what we're talking about. So there must be a new consensus that this kind of inhuman, uncharitable, hateful nihilism, it has to be the scourge of our society. We have to do our part to drive it out. And you know what the best way to do that is, other than the obvious, which I already see people doing, and you know what? Good. I see people getting these people fired. I see people holding these people accountable, and good on them. Our strongest weapon is to shine. Our strongest weapon, if you, as I said, really believe in God, it's not a gun. It's not some other weapon of choice. Our strongest weapon is the power of prayer. And I know that's taken a lot of heat. I know there's a lot of cynical, arrogant people that think they know better. They say thoughts and prayers. When you put your intentions and your consciousness and your conscience in alignment with the true and living God, the God of mercy, the God that is synonymous with love, the God that is synonymous with truth and charity, it will shine through your actions. It will shine through your words and your deeds, and it will shine for others to follow. It will shine for other people that are misguided, other people that are confused, other people that may be considering evil things. Everybody's looking for some tyrant to save us. People are looking for a militia to save us. They're looking for
somebody to fill
a
Charlie's
militant
shoes.
Messiah. to deliver us from our enemies so that we can rule and things can be the way we want them to be.
Oh, keep on searching, huh? Keep searching and searching for that person of power, and guess what? You might accidentally elevate the Antichrist. Uh-oh, nobody wants to talk about that. Jesus Christ is coming soon. Never forget, Jesus Christ is king. When you want to be king, remember, you're not.
But that Messiah already came. His kingdom is within. His kingdom is above, outside of this. You want to make society better? It starts with you. And the cardinal sin, the first mistake you can make is to think that in a fundamental way, in an essential way, that we're different from the people that hate us. It's not to say that we're killers. It doesn't make us killers. But we have a fallen nature. We have a tendency to love ourselves. We have a tendency to believe in ourselves. We're prone to the appetites of the flesh, the emotions, anima, supernatural forces. If you don't want that to win, you must resolve in your heart first what side you're on in the spiritual battle. Are you on the side of God? Talk to God.
Yeah.
Pray to God.
Yeah.
Give your intentions to God. Align your will with God.
Yep.
That's how you know you're on the right side and not on the side of... If you're out there thinking about revenge and talking tough and war and all this stuff, I would say think again.
Oh.
Now, here's the other part. We are in a civilizational struggle. People say, obviously, we're in peril. We have a real problem on our hands. We are besieged from every corner by the devil and by the devil's allies. As I said, by this elite syndicate which runs our country. It runs off of drug money. It runs off of violence and terrorism. It supports heinous wars and bloodshed like in Palestine. We're also besieged not just from above, but from below, by barbarians, by a primitive form of evil, by bandits, savages, murderers. You see it all the time, like we saw last week. You see it from our ideological opponents, from people in the middle, intellectuals, academics, these arrogant intellectuals chortling to themselves about this atrocity. They all have to be defeated. They will not be defeated by random acts of violence like some people are thinking of. They will not be defeated today, tomorrow. People say, what are we going to do? We got to get out there. How did Christ win the victory over the Roman Empire? How did Christ's church grow from 12 to millions to take over the ancient known world? They didn't expand by the sword. They didn't expand by conquest. It was by the witness. Witness to their true faith, witness to their suffering. When the Roman soldiers came to arrest Christ, the first instinct of his disciples was to defend Christ, to attack. And Christ quickly admonished his disciple Peter and said, those that live by the sword perish by the sword. Trade your sword for a cloak. Be as clever as a serpent and as innocent as a dove. This is my message. Every young adolescent man watching this, everybody whipped up, boomers too, boomer waffen that's out there. Every person that is outraged by this, every person that wants change, I give you the same message. Trade your arms for a cloak. Be as clever as a serpent, as innocent as a dove. Write your interior life. Write your conscience. Put your conscience and your attentions in alignment with God. Be as innocent as you can be. Try your best to live a moral life. But don't be stupid. Don't be naive. With Charlie Kirk's death, his Turning Point organization, the fate of it is uncertain. Charlie Kirk, I'm going to be honest with you, I saw him as an establishment figure. I saw him as too moderate. We must fill up the ranks of these campus organizations with Septemberists. Forget about the free market. Forget about pro-Israel, free market, whatever. It is incumbent on all adolescent young men that want to save this country, that want any future for your children, that want to preserve what your ancestors built, to get involved in politics and to do more. And when I say politics, do not mistake what I mean. I don't mean go and vote for more Republicans to bomb Palestine. I do not mean to vote for more Republicans to cover up the Epstein files. Vote for more Republicans to squander and botch something like this so badly as they have. I mean, you need to become a human Swiss Army knife. Become unkillable. I'm not this guy, but get in the gym. Get in the gym. Do tactical training. Become hard to kill so you can protect yourself and your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn the rules of the game and use them to your advantage.
Bingo.
Get involved in politics. Get involved in a campus organization tomorrow. Get involved in a campaign, not with the mind towards I'm going to put up stickers, not with a mind towards we're going to get the vote, with a mind towards we are in this struggle until we die.
Dude, why do you think that I love Charlie and I love Nick? Why do you think that it's because I went in and I was rejected. I was rejected by Charlie because of my affiliation with Nick. And guess what? I went and I grinded and I worked and I worked on my craft relentlessly for a year. I made it impossible for you to say no to me. Anybody you've heard of, I've worked with. Because I grind, I work. And you know what happened when Charlie gave me my job? When Charlie told me that he fell in love with my design? I realized something. After being pessimistic and nihilistic, I realized the American dream isn't dead. It's not over. Our country isn't over. It's deeply humbling. And I'll be the first one to tell you, man, I took for granted working with Charlie. I'd wake up some days and I wouldn't want to work with him. I wouldn't want to work with him. Well, no, I just wouldn't want to work at all. I wanted to be lazy. I wanted to stay in bed. And now, man, I feel deep shame for ever feeling like that, for ever taking that for granted. Every single day is a blessing. Every day is a gift. Love your life, love your family, love your craft, and do better. Become better. And the better and the better and the better you get, and listen, I'm not a fan of Biggie. I think he was a sexual degenerate who did a lot of harm on society, but what does he say? More money, more problems. You start getting better, you start getting more money, you start getting more problems, you start suffering more, but keep suffering. Keep suffering.
By any means. We are in this struggle for the long haul. Until we win, none of us are safe. None of our families are safe. We will keep being attacked. Get used to it. You'll see more of it. I hope we don't. I pray that we don't, but we will. Get involved for the people that can't. For the people that aren't with us. For the people that aren't able. Start your career now so that one day you can be in a position of real power, real money, real influence, real government power. And not today, not tomorrow, because listen, that's not how these things happen. Rome is not built in a day. This kind of societal change, people that are looking for a quick fix, what are we going to do? You're not going to like the answer, because it is not that we are going to go out in some climactic, ecstatic, orgiastic, violent action like a movie. That never delivers change. It never delivers anything good. What does deliver real change is the thankless, monotonous, boring task, the oftentimes not very rewarding task of going in, day out, and dealing with logistical problems and frustrations and fighting every day so that we can be in charge, so that we can protect our country, our inheritance, and all people. That's the solution. That's my call on all people. In the short term, this scourge in our society, it must be driven out. It must be suffocated by goodness. They must be shamed, not hurt, not injured, not maimed, but they must be shamed. They must be ostracized. We cannot associate with these people anymore. And a more voluntary action is you need to get involved. This is the call to action that you're not going to like. Sadly, and I've been around for a long time and I've seen it, and you may not believe me, I've seen enough of these instances. You know how this goes. Everybody's paying attention now because they saw the gory video. Everyone's in their feelings because they saw video edits and productions with music on them on TikTok. But in 2 weeks, everybody's going to be right back to their regular old lives. You know that. That's the best case scenario. Everybody's going to be right back to their ordinary lives. In a year, sadly, I hate to say this, and we won't let them forget, but many will forget. Many people need to be reminded. And that's typically how these things go. Use the anger. Use the emotions you're feeling now, not to ruin your life, not to say something reckless, do something you regret, not to say something just as murderous as what happened or do something just as evil as what occurred. Take these emotions, transmute them. Align your intentions with God. Use it for a righteous cause. Use it to get involved in a generational struggle. This is not me telling you not to act. On the contrary, dedicate your life to this.
Yeah. Gosh. This is going to be heartbreaking to say, but when I saw this happen, I called my dad and I told him, I said, this game might not be for me. I'm young, I'm 22. I see somebody who I loved, who I'd call a friend, who I fought alongside of, and I thought, maybe this isn't it. Maybe I need to just jump off the internet and do something else. I don't want that to be me. I don't want that to be my wife. I don't want that to be another one of my friends. And man, when my dad told me that this was my fight, that this was my calling, when my dad reassured me of this, it moved me. It moved me because this is not a job. This is a lifestyle. Charlie Kirk was my friend, and I've seen Charlie Kirk get murdered 100 times over. People want to say, oh, don't leverage this for clicks. Don't leverage this for clout. I see you guys right here saying this. No, it's not. I'm not leveraging this. I'm motivated by this. I'm sick of this. I bought this channel 4 months ago. I haven't even taken it seriously. I feed off of working with other people. I don't like part of me feels ashamed of myself from doing this, from having this channel. A lot of it is low tier. It's low-hanging content. It's low-hanging fruit debates, and I talk for 60 seconds of video. But it would be silly to think that Charlie Kirk wasn't contributing to the movement for virtue, for change. It would be silly to think that you're not in your own way. It would be silly to think that Nick isn't. We all are. We all are.
Dedicate your life to taking over our country to deliver a real victory. There is no substitute. There is no alternative. They must lose. We must win. They must be defeated. Ultimately, we must win. We must control the halls of power. We must control the big guns. We must control society for the good of us, our families, for the good of our enemies, for their own good, for the good of the children that have grown up and been misguided and corrupted by the devil and his allies to become this, to become monsters, for the good of us all. That is our responsibility. That's my message. Do with it what you will. We're not going to read super chats tonight. What happened yesterday cannot be undone. And a word on life and death. Here's the thing. There's only one way out of this world. Major reason this was so disturbing, so depressing, is because we saw it right up close and personal. And here's the thing about death. It's not pretty. It's not glorious. It's not triumphant. No one is triumphant in their death other than Christ. We die weak, feeble, mentally, physically incapacitated, violently. You see how fragile life really is. A bullet rips through your neck, it's over in an instant. How fragile the balance between life and death really is. How short and unpredictable life really is. We have plans. We have schedules, routines. We have a fate, an appointed day when we will be sentenced to death one way or another. Somehow, eventually, it will take us by surprise. And then we'll spend eternity in heaven or hell. Remember that you will die. Like Charlie Kirk, you and I will die. Charlie Kirk had plans. We all have plans. We all have plans to live to be 95 years old, retired with our family on our side, dying of old age peacefully in our sleep. That's not promised. None of it. None of it is promised. Not our bodies, not our faculties, not our cognitive capabilities, not 50 years, not tomorrow, not today, not tonight. Do with that information what you will. Live as though if you died at any moment, you'll be satisfied with it. And what do we take with us in death? We don't take any of it. Not our bodies, not our wealth, as you know, our esteem, our credibility, our victories. All of it eventually be washed away by time and by eternity. What you take with you to the judgment are your deeds. What is melted down at the end of your life is your actions. And they will be melted down like metals. And they will be gold, silver, bronze, copper. They will be judged accordingly to their weight, to their kind, to their type. What did you do? Did you do the right thing? Did you tell the truth? Did you sacrifice as Christ did? Did you do these things as Christ did? In the end, that is all that you take with you, and it is worth its weight in gold, literally. People get so caught up, they're so worried about strategy, machinations, even the fate of our people here in this world. But the world is passing. We are passing. We are mortal. And all these people that see Charlie Kirk, and I get it, people are beating their chest. They don't want to be deterred. They don't want to be defeated. Let it be a reminder. We all die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We're all going that way. And the least that you could say about Charlie Kirk is that he died professing a faith in God. He died professing the truth.
I think that's where I'm going to leave it. And we're not going to finish up the stream. I have a few things that I'm eager to go over that's happened since this has happened. First one is that Aiden Ross was watching Nick Fuentes' stream. And he had 60,000 live viewers. And you guys, we had record numbers today. with this stream. Record numbers on this channel. This is something that's bigger than anybody. Bigger than anybody. What else did we have today? We had Rachel Wilson talking about this. Rachel Wilson says, give his history with Charlie Kirk, given his history, with Charlie Kirk and all the emotions running high right now. This was a great moment. What part was this?
And to pray not just for the repose of Charlie Kirk's soul and for his wife and for his 2 young children and for the people affected in his organization and for the people that were closest to him, but also to pray for the wisdom, the strength, the prudence, the humility, the fortitude to approach this in the right way. Because how we respond to this tragedy, like all of these events, like all of the persecution, all of the suffering, the anguish, it will define us. It will define our country.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Turning Point has responded very slowly, but I understand why. Listen, this is a ongoing investigation. And they have to work with the federal government because there is a murderer that is still on the loose, you guys. An evil person who has stripped away a father, a visionary, a Christian. He's still in the midst. And it should make you sad. It should make you really sad that we've failed, that our institutions have failed. That the movies that you see where the gate is falling down, right? And they're going to block everybody from leaving the country and they're going to figure out who this killer is, that was fake. And that right now we have no answers, and that from everything I've seen on the internet, the FBI is about 16 hours behind X. 16 hours behind. Right now they're finally releasing ring footage of what he looks like and where he was walking and what he was doing. And the ring footage, you know what it does? Nothing. It does nothing. It can kind of show the feds where he is at, but it's not really doing anything. It's not helping us identify him. Look at this from TPUSA today. A life of faith, a legacy that endures, remembering Charlie Kirk.
We're active in about 15 campuses, and we're growing very, very quickly. And keep in mind, this is not just a flash in the pan movement. We're going to become an institution to give them the power and the confidence to stand up and let their voice be heard.
I started this organization when I was 18 years old. I decided not to go to college. I didn't get in my dream school, which was the United States Military Academy at West Point. I have this idea to galvanize and motivate the future youth of this country around a core set of ideas, not just political parties or politicians. And the ideas are really America's the greatest country in the history of the world. The Constitution is the greatest political document ever written, and free enterprise is the most assured way to lift people out of poverty and create prosperity for all. Those are the 3 big ideas. And I think that's something that can win.
We as Christians are called to go into the public arena to correct error with truth. So I go to college campuses and there's a lot of error. We're all sinners. We all live in error. I'm far more interested in what God wants of me than what I want from God.
I have to say this without getting emotional, but I'm very proud of my husband. And I know many of you are too. You have worked so hard. And I know a lot of you have seen, obviously, his videos on TikTok and all the stuff he does on campus, but no one gets to see him from my angle except for myself and our children. And the sacrifices that he made this year, he's amazing. I'm very blessed.
And I would not have been able to do any of it without Erica. And that's the real truth. I'll tell you what. You are here as a grassroots response to the top-down revolution happening in this country. I want our Turning Point USA students to receive a round of applause. These are the freedom fighters of America.
The media said that Turning Point could never run a ground game. They weren't experienced. They didn't know Charlie, right?
This is the greatest generational realignment since Woodstock. This generation is the most conservative generation that we have seen in well over 50 years.
Yeah.
And the numbers show it. What
It's us.
young people especially are screaming at is they say, give me a structure that I can live my life by. And especially with young men, more challenging of them, more saying, you know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna talk down to you. Stop being a boy and become a man. You wanna learn what that means? Come to church and I'll tell you what it means to become a man. Because we have the greatest story ever told. What can I do to save the country? You answer that question every single day because you are doing the work to save this beautiful republic. You are doing something that is bigger than you.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
This is literally. This is who we're talking about here. This is who we're talking about. This is you. This is me. This is really is kind of all of us.
I love you.
I love you too.
Gigi, you don't just get to get everything you want. Okay. Well, you have to be on very good behavior to get such a thing like this. Okay? Hold on. You have to behave well.
Did you earn it?
Did you earn it? Yeah, of course you did. Of course you earned it.
Have you been a good girl? Okay, I'll get it.
Man. Sometimes you have to realize it's not that deep, man. You have to realize that you're really not some savior, some inspirational person. This person who killed Charlie Kirk, he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's thinking he's the biggest and the baddest and he's the best. And you're not. You know, I think people have to stop taking themselves so seriously. They have to start resonating with other people, and they have to start loving other people. They have to remove the prejudice and the bias that they have. Listen, I just talked on a Twitter space the other day, and we will transition there, but I talked on a Twitter space with a black supremacist. And this type of belief thought that I wasn't worth anything. I wasn't worth the breath that was going into my lungs. And when I see comedians like Charleston White laughing about what happened here, you know what this is? This is everyone. This video doesn't represent a symbol of conservative or Donald Trump or MAGA. This represents all of us, man. Look at this face. Are you going to be a good girl? Are you going to behave well? Yes. Yes, Dad, I will. And he just smiles. He just smiles. And Charleston gets up here and he says, like, I give a fuck about some white boy being shot. This is not some white boy. This is a father who acted just like you probably have as a father. Despite your skin color and your bias and your prejudice. Stop letting these things be the reason for you justifying your division and your hatred. It's unacceptable. It's completely inappropriate. Look at this. This is what we're dealing with on our college campuses right now. Our college campuses where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This is what's going on.
Why are we cheering for someone getting shot? Like, no matter what political beliefs are, we should not be cheering that someone got shot. He has a family.
He's still like a bad guy. He's still like a bad guy. You can hear it. Listen closely. He's still like a bad guy.
Or we should not be cheering that someone got shot. He has a family. We do. I value everyone's beliefs, but we should not be cheering as a class that someone...
No, okay. And this girl gets it wrong because I don't value your beliefs, but guess what? I do value your life. I do value your life. That's the difference here. Your beliefs aren't worthy of my value, but maybe, just maybe your life is. Maybe, just maybe, I can convince myself that despite the way that you act and how evil it is, maybe, just maybe, I can believe that. Look at the memorials that are going up.
This right there behind me is a mural.
Mural.
Kirk. This could be the first mural in his honor in the world, and it's here in Israel. This is how much he meant to us, because he was a champion of the Judeo-Christian alliance.
Okay, we're done with that. Yeah, we're done with that. We're done with that, man. Judeo, don't even try this shit. Don't even try this shit with me. The first Muriel, am I saying that right? Was in Israel? Are you fucking kidding me? What are we doing? What are Americans doing right now? We're going to let Israel have this one up on us? This is unacceptable. And listen, our greatest ally, Rabbi Shmuley, when Charlie Kirk got assassinated and it was clear to most people that he was not going to live, Rabbi Shmuley said, I'm a Jew and my life is in danger too. And Charlie Kirk stood for me. So give me money. Rabbi Shmuley, what did he raise? He tried to raise $500,000. He tried to grift off of Charlie Kirk's death with $500,000. I have spoken for my friend many times. I'm in shock and praying for his recovery. Help protect Rabbi Shmuley. GoFundMe /591ABB6EF. GoFundMe. This insanity is what we're dealing with here. Now listen, okay. Melania looks like she's been crying. Yeah. I think Donald Trump looks the most shaken I've ever seen him. I think Donald Trump is seriously hurt by this. And here's what I'll tell you guys. When we were doing our live stream during the election night, Charlie Kirk walked out several times. And he walked out because Donald Trump was calling him. Donald Trump looked to Charlie for reassurance. Donald Trump dialed the phone to call Charlie. That's how close they were. That's how much our president loved Charlie. That whenever he doesn't know if he's going to win the election, whenever he has this anxiety, this doubt, this fear, he dialed the phone and he called Charlie Kirk. You guys realize that? You realize that? Our president confided and loved Charlie Kirk. This was an attack. This wasn't an attack on all of us, but you can see it with Donald Trump, man. This was an attack on him. Yeah, it absolutely looks like she was holding back tears. As I'm sure all of you guys would be too. Probably have been doing, holding back tears at this situation. And it's unavoidable. Unless you get off the internet, it's unavoidable. Charlie Kirk is teaching you right now through his murder solitude. He's teaching you that some things you can't escape. And you can't escape the fact that somebody who loved this country, who loved you, who loved Christ, was murdered in cold blood. And no matter what you try to do, you can't escape it. No matter what. And I'm going to go to a Twitter space. Let's hear what's going on. This has 325 viewers. We're going to jump in here and talk about this because, listen, this is what has to happen. You guys have to get, if you're going to be subjected to the fact that Charlie Kirk got murdered, if you're going to see the fact that our guy got stripped away from us, who loved us, who stood for Christ, who stood for America, and you want to bitch out, and you want to throw your phone in the river, throw it in the trash, and you want to run away, that's a problem. But if you're going to stay here, if you're going to stay online, then you better go and fight people who come in and they use this, like Rabbi Shmuley, they use this to benefit their kingdom and to benefit who they serve and to benefit their master. And guess what, guys? It's not Jesus Christ. It's not Charlie Kirk's master.
Oh, you said
Intra. Of the 50% of the crimes committed of black people, it is like 99% of with their own race. Okay, black people are killing black people. Oh, just like at 99% rate of their own race. Okay, like it's not 50%. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? They don't understand this.
I'm just looking at the numbers Brennan put up, but let me make one other thing before you go off. You said that if what happened to Charlie Kirk happened to anyone on the left, that the Republicans wouldn't do that. Well, there was a senator that there was a kidnapping plot that was thrown off, and
I
all
literally
of them
brought
were
that up.
making fun
Gretchen
of him.
Whitmer.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's a bullshit thing. It's a bullshit thing that happened. It's a bullshit thing that happened.
Okay,
They have
everything's
20
bullshit that I
They had
say.
20. Yeah, because I'm honest. They had 20 fucking feds
And what about
and
Paul
3 fucking
Pelosi?
retards.
What about Paul
3 fucking
Pelosi? Everyone
retards.
says it's his
Paul
gay
Pelosi had
lover.
a faggot fucking. Paul Pelosi had a faggot fucking stick his dick in his ass, and they had a lover's quarrel. What the fuck are you talking about? There's nothing real
Joe,
that's
the
going
Paul
on here.
Pelosi thing
The
to
fuck
me
are you
was a
talking
little
about?
bit.
Is Charlie Kirk Charlie Kirk, was that his lover that tried to shoot him?
Hold on.
No,
The
it was a
fuck,
left
dude,
wing
it's
guy because they shot
ridiculous.
him.
It's
Hold on.
ridiculous what you're
Paul
saying.
Pelosi literally was paying that guy for sex, dude.
Go ahead,
You
Fed.
fucking
Sorry, I didn't mean
idiot.
to.
Paul
He was
Pelosi's
paying
guy
the
is like,
guy for
oh my
sex.
god, this
He was
fucking
a
boomer.
male
Shut up,
prostitute.
Fed.
May I
Paul
give some real
Pelosi's
stats?
No, let
issue,
Paul
Paul
speak.
Pelosi's thing was never fully like we didn't get the full breakdown and
It was never fully
like
adjudicated, really.
like synopsis of what happened with that because they were
He was
both in their
waiting for
underwear.
Nancy Pelosi. He was waiting for.
Politically motivated crime.
This is what I
What
mean.
are
An
you-
attempted murder, and you make fun of it while you said
So make
Republicans
fun of
would never
faggots for
do
being
this.
degenerate. What do you want me to say?
It's
No one's
funny.
fucking faggot. I don't know what you want to say.
Republicans would never do this. Look, and you're doing
The
it.
guy wasn't even a Republican. He was like a lunatic.
Can I give some real stats? Yeah, hold on, Joe. There's a difference in my mind to a violent B&E with a prominent person's husband, a prominent politician's husband, which of course is unacceptable. The person was sort of a leftist loon.
And how
as
did he get in the gate? Zach, how did he get in the gate?
A leftist loon. No, they broke in through the back, and it
He
was
was
also weird.
he was MAGA, and he said he was MAGA.
No,
You went along
What
with
are you
that.
talking? They're trying. Okay, so they're trying to. Is this a leftist? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this a leftist right now?
No, hold on. I don't know if Joe is a leftist, but what I'm trying to say is that I think there's a stretch between even a somewhat politically motivated burglary, B&E, and a politically
You guys see
motivated
this? They're
assassination
blaming
on
leftism.
college
They're
campus
blaming MAGA
in
for this.
broad daylight of a
This is
very,
what
very
this is what they're doing. They're blaming leftists are blaming MAGA and saying it's your fault. You killed your guy.
Here's a great. And let me say the great.
They charged him. They charged him for.
Let Zach finish.
This is like a Martin Luther King almost type of an assassination because this guy was way more prominent and well known than a lot of people will give him credit for. IRL. He was a mover and shaker, and at the age of 32, he accomplished what some people would take a 20-year career to do, which he did in 10 years or 12 years. So maybe even a 30-year career, right?
So
he did
didn't even have a college degree.
And just like King, for a lot of people, was seen as the figurehead of a movement.
What are we doing?
Not to flourish
We're
and
glazing
wanted-
Martin Luther right now. Is that what the consensus is?
Sinister thing, Joe, than Nancy
So
Pelosi's
for the
husband
record,
was
too,
assaulted by some-
I have to bring up the Gretchen Whitmer thing because you just need to hear this again because I dealt with Maine with this today. I deal with this. Okay, why they make fun of it and what happened, right? So what happened was originally the media made a big deal about this plot. They made a big deal because they're pushing her politically, right? Then the information came out. It was fucking 4 retards and 50 feds. It wasn't a legitimate thing. It was literally 4 retards and 50 feds. They encouraged them to do this. It was a bullshit fucking thing. It was complete and total bullshit. Look it up. You can look it up. So we make fun of
Do
it
you know
because
what
it
Paul
wasn't
Pelosi's attacker was charged with? Do you know what he was charged with?
taking it in the ass.
No, he's
Attempted rape.
But this is what I mean. He was charged with kidnapping, waiting for Pelosi to come home to kill
Wrong.
her.
It was false imprisonment. You're wrong.
Okay, it says kidnapping.
No, but
Why were they both in
you
their
are
underwear?
completely lying. Like this is
Why were
what
they
you
both in their
people do.
underwear?
You cling on to these like ridiculous stories. Oh my God, January 6th. Oh my God, Paul Pelosi.
Yeah, well, how do you know he was MAGA?
people are
No,
burning the
relax.
country to the ground.
How do you
You're
know he was
burning
MAGA,
it to
Joe?
the ground.
Joe, how do you know he was MAGA? Do you have any evidence of that? You made a claim.
That's what they said. I
Is
voted
that
for
what
Trump,
you
by the
say?
way.
No,
he wasn't
I
mad. He was
voted
a crazy Canadian.
I
He was a
voted for
crazy
Trump, by the way.
Canadian who
Who are
had
they?
followed leftist politics. Come on, we all know that. Just look it up.
Wait, okay, so who is
they?
they
The
and
police
what did they
investigation-
say? They said it was
police
MAGA.
investigation showed one weird thing. They showed there was broken glass on the outside.
They're trying to blame
of the
MAGA.
house, not the inside.
Right.
They're trying to blame you
No, he was
for the
obviously
assassination of
invited in.
Charlie
He was
Kirk.
Obviously invited in.
If you were to break the glass and reach in, there'd be glass inside the house. There was glass outside the house, meaning someone from inside the house was like, "Oh," and just hit it. They were sort of frolicking about the home with the hammer in tow. So I don't know what happened. It's possible Paul's on a lot of dopes, night sleep things. He's he's had DUIs. He's had issues
Right.
in the past. He had one earlier that summer.
And he likes a little peg in here and there. Go ahead.
And yeah, so he could have been fucked up. I think this guy might have been more like his weed dealer or something like that, or his like pill dealer.
I'm sorry,
And-
Zach.
But-
Who are we talking
but
about right
Zach,
now?
the
Just no.
police-
Shut the fuck up. Who are we talking about right now, Zach?
Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband. But Joe, this is all a distraction, man, because Charlie Kirk's dead because some radical loon shot him on a college campus, which is symbolic, which is very much, like I said, along the lines of some of these famous people who live in infamy. For better use.
We're talking about Paul Pelosi right
So
now.
we don't want to hear
They can't
Paul
help
Pelosi
but
getting
yeah.
fucked in the ass. I mean, come on, this is some fucking.
But you're making up conspiracies for no reason.
What
Joe,
conspiracies,
this guy was
Joa?
Speaking of
And they-
conspiracies, you said
No.
he's MAGA.
You're talking about
You said
Paul
he's MAGA.
Pelosi.
Yeah.
You said he's MAGA.
This guy was
Noah.
interviewed, and what the police said on the stand was that he believed a conspiracy that Nancy Pelosi was responsible for
You're
stealing
still
the election.
talking about Paul
That's what was
Pelosi?
said.
You're
But
still
you guys
talking
said you
about
would
Paul
never attack
Pelosi?
it, and you are.
Really? Wow. Let's talk about no, why don't we just talk about 1,000 years ago, Zaganol? Why don't we talk about 2,000 years ago?
No, this is important. Hold on. Let's just go ahead and agree that the person was waiting to kidnap Nancy Pelosi. Well, yeah, that's a terrible thing, but you know what? Nancy Pelosi works with a detail of security guards. She was the either the speaker or the former speaker, or had her own secret detail. I think she was speaker at the time. So, look, they would have found him and shot him.
No, Zach, I just want to say something. I'm sick. I am sick and tired. No, I am sick and tired of people coming in here and they're telling us how we should feel, and they're giving us callbacks. They're giving us these weak, gay callbacks of, well, what about Paul Pelosi in his underwear getting hit in the head with a hammer? I am so sick of this shit. Why don't you take responsibility for your fucking party? Why don't you take responsibility for the fact... No, why don't you take responsibility for the fact that you... Oh, no. I'm going to go on my fucking monologue right now, actually. Why don't you take responsibility for the fact that your party is the party of self-mutilation, self-harm, that you guys enabled this behavior, that these Antifa and these transgenders that you guys loved and you wanted to suck their cut-off cocks? This is your crowd. So why don't you shut the fuck up? Why don't you start looking in the fucking mirror and realizing that this is your problem? This is what you have done to the country. This is what you did to Charlie Kirk. This isn't about Paul Pelosi, you fucking idiot.
I voted for Trump, you moron, but it's nice.
You really got... No. Boxing and Zach, he really got me because he voted for Trump.
Zach,
We have political violence on both sides.
These people lie. These people lie, man. This is ridiculous.
It's not a.
It gives them an excuse to shit on Trump all fucking day, Josiah.
It's not a.
When they say they voted for Trump, they spend the fucking all day online shitting on Trump, and they say they voted for Trump.
Did you guys see Trump? Did you see Melania? Did you see them cry today? This was an attack on Donald Trump.
You guys want to rant? Listen to Zaganel for a second.
I'm trying to say something. I keep getting interrupted. If you're trying to draw parallels between what's happened, the better parallels to draw would be something like, well, you know, if we see an attempted assassination, that's just over the top, and we can't have that. I was the first to say I really dislike Obama, but if anyone tries anything silly or funny, like, it's going to really regress our country in a way that's shameful. And no, that's the public attitude for most people. So when this is crossing the line, like going to someone's home and being aggressive, it's sinister, it's unacceptable,
Absolutely.
It's criminal. But you know, this is terrorism, basically.
And people doing this in this moment, right? Like people on the left, it makes us less likely to say what Zach said about if God forbid something happened to one of your people, because it's a vicious cycle. So when Charlie Kirk was murdered and people are talking about, you know, mocking him and shit like that, when something, you know, you're less likely to have any type of grace, you know, when even though you should, I guess, ultimately. I don't think you understand. Like, you can't just say that the left wing rhetoric is out of fucking control, and just period and leave it at that. I just don't understand that.
Yeah,
That's
it may be
that's a
less likely,
completed
but we
sentence.
still will
I,
be on that
I
side.
I came up for one reason. You guys said if this happened the other way around, you guys would condemn it, right?
Yeah,
So
we
far,
did.
the
So
only
We
the only one
condemned Luigi Mangione. We did.
I can't speak. I get muted every 2 seconds, Zag. I'll leave if you guys don't want me up here.
Compare apples to apples.
No, we
No muting, I won't mute.
condemned Luigi Mangione, and so did
Luigi
Charlie Kirk.
Mangione assassinated a corporate.
Yeah, that's not political.
Like, so
It
it's
absolutely
political.
was
It's
political.
not
It was
apples to
political
apples.
because the
Definitely
leftists turned him into a sex symbol. This is what they
Here's
did.
the point. See, there is no parallel on the other side because
If Czech
the other
Uger was
side
gunned
hasn't
down, if
had a
Czech Uger was
president.
gunned down
Oh
on
my
the
God.
street,
No one's taken a
if-
shot at the
if-
other side's president since.
Yeah.
There's a
China.
million
You condemn-
parallels
okay,
No one's
of
period.
killed
leftist
a
violence.
Exhausting here.
activist since fucking Martin Luther King and John Lennon. So it's been Democrats who have been
Martin
dishing out
Luther
the
King.
violence,
Oh
especially
my gosh.
the last 10, 12 years. They can't cope with reality that violates their ideological sort
I'm
of
going to be
outline.
honest. If
And
Martin
when
Luther King
push
really
comes
was,
to shove, they go, "Ma!" and they just can't. And they.
I'm going to be honest. If Martin Luther King really was doing all
No
those
pun
rapes, I
intended
mean,
with
I don't
Charlie,
really feel
but-
that bad for him being murdered either. I'm going to be
But they
honest.
fucking.
Well, that's
crashed out.
terrible.
And they
Can I
killed-
speak for 1 second?
I'm
Just
being
1
honest. If he
second.
was doing all those rapes,
1 second. This is all bullshit. All right, because people are saying about with Barack Obama. How many people actually tried to assassinate Barack Obama? How many people tried to assassinate his followers? No one. No one on the right. Now they're trying to say, well, the right does this and that and this and that, but it's false equivalency. And I'll just leave it at that.
yeah, they found
Total
the
W.
noose.
Total W for
They found
Christopher.
the noose at one of those like Tea Party events, and it was like
Yeah, the
Auschwitz
racetrack, the
4.0.
NASCAR
Like it was
noose.
insane. The media coverage of that fucking noose
Yeah, there
was
was a-
insane.
And
It was like
after
a
that
car.
happened, Obama spied on the media. Obama spied on Sean Hannity and other people because he lost the midterms. Like that's how these people are. You support radicals, Joa. You are radical, anti-human, anti-American monsters. That's what.
Yeah,
what-
and,
what-
and, and
what
Joa
you
gets
are.
it. Well, and
What
here's
you
one
are.
thing. Let me just
Joa.
say something really quick. I don't know you, Joa, but from what I've heard so far, you've tried to subvert the conversation to make it about non-issues, things that are not equivalent to what has happened. You've tried to come in here and use your moral high horse to subvert and refuse to look in the reflection of the party of the left, and instead you've made it about something completely different. And that makes me really question where your heart
Well, he's not an
posture
Ameri-
is. Really.
He's not an American first, Josiah,
I-
because he's one of the first people. I'm going to be, hold on. Because Josiah, like you post on the Jumbotron, and you could say what you want about what's going on in Gaza, but the day that Charlie Kirk's murdered, who was an important American figure, you immediately defect to the third world, means you don't give a fuck about America. You give a fuck about your virtue signaling to the brown third worlders who hate all white people. So fuck off. That's how it is.
Oh
No,
my
you know what?
gosh,
What I
boxing,
tried to do-
amazing
You'll
point.
suck to him on-
Amazing
you'll suck-
point, boxing. And here's
You'll
something.
suck to him on Osman's dick, who's a fucking packy
Okay,
with white
all right,
people.
all right,
Don't
relax,
fucking
relax,
fuck these
relax,
fucking people.
relax. Okay, here's a great point that boxing makes, and I want to say something. The biggest, baddest alt-right person in the space right now, you know what he did? He just talked for about an hour, and he said,
Not even here.
he said to everybody, I'm talking about Nick Fuentes, by the way. He said to everybody, he said,
Oh my God.
if you think that murder, if you think that violence, if you think that picking up the sword is the answer, it's not. Did he come in and did he politicize it? Did he make it about dead Palestinian children? Did he make it about XYZ? Did he use his... No, he didn't. He strictly talked about the word of God. He strictly talked about what it meant to be deeply Christian and to be virtuous. He sent a unifying message. No, he did. I listened to the whole thing. Why the fuck are you guys... Did you guys listen to it?
Because
Did
all
you
these
listen
people
to
think
it?
rape, kill,
Did
die
you
for
listen to
Fuentes.
it? No, Zaganol, did you listen to it?
Let me just look.
No, it's a simple question, Zaganol. Did you listen to it?
No, I have not listened to it. But anytime a guy in the media, in the social media sphere on the right with 6 million followers and a daily show.
Disavow
and a
that number.
huge-
Disavow the number.
Okay, look.
So you didn't listen to it?
Nick stands to gain tremendously by gaining huge sums of Charlie Kirk's audience. That's why he's being measured and sober about this.
Nope,
If he had
nope.
nothing to gain
You're
from it, he'd be
wrong.
like,
You're
"Fuck
wrong.
Charlie Kirk.
You're
That's what
wrong.
you get. yada yada. I know his,
You're wrong.
his style.
No, Zaganol, you're wrong.
Look, I mean, well, this is a thought that I have, that he's being moderate.
And let me tell you why you're
Also,
wrong.
who cares? Because
Let
he
me
wants
tell
Charlie
you.
Kirk's fan
Let me
base.
tell you why
He
you're
wants
wrong.
back in with
Nope.
GP USA,
Nope.
I bet.
Nope. Let me tell you why you're wrong. It's because the message that he brought tonight was the same exact message that I saw at his conference in Holy War about 2 years ago now. 2 years ago. No, I'm not interested in you guys interrupting me. 2 years ago, what he did was he went on stage and he talked about the Jews for 1% of his speech. And the rest of what he did was talk about virtue. He talked about Christianity. He talked about loving God. He talked about being a good person. And you know what the media did? They took that 1%. They took that 1%, and it was clear to everybody who was there that you guys do not understand this, that people like yourself aren't watching the streams. You're not listening. You're not playing. You're not really understanding it. That's ultimately what it is.
No, he's a awful human being. I don't give a shit if he said something.
Florida, nobody gives a fuck about what your take on Nick Fuentes is. I'm sorry to tell you this, but like, seriously, we don't care.
It's actually the most important take. It's all right.
No, boxing. I mean, boxing. You probably have a better take than Florida on Nick Fuentes, to be honest.
You don't care. That's the difference, Josiah.
Look, here's something else that I thought about too. If you're a very prominent person on the right who espouses stuff that Charlie has, but more extremely, you got to also be worried about your own safety. So of course you're gonna be very sober about.
I don't think the people that are
let's
targeting
pump the brakes. Let's take it easy.
Maybe.
This is out of control. We need to stop this and start thinking about, we need to start looking more at God and all that. That's the natural reaction too to someone who's like, holy fuck, they just shot this guy in broad daylight. What could happen to me if I ever do a public event?
I have a question, just a quick one.
Scared to death, man. I don't
for Josiah.
He'll have bulletproof glass.
You'll have to have something. I mean, yeah.
Did he mention Israel at all?
He did not directly mention Israel tonight.
Imagine that.
So after a couple days, after a week, people are on their best behaviors, minding their P's and Q's. See what starts happening in the weeks when the investigation gets interesting. They find the guy. They do, they don't, whatever it is. Then people will start to really show their true colors when they're like, fuck
Let
this.
it take a face. You're absolutely right. Let it take
So
a
now
face.
everyone's on their best behavior. So I would expect nothing but people to say the right thing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Fuentes is not dumb. He's not gonna.
We'll see what happens down the line.
He's not gonna make a stupid decision. I just.
He's not gonna. Are you saying that this was like a calculated move? This was something other than remorse? You know what I think? Boxing. I think that no. You guys both have a bias. You and Zaganol both have a bias against Nick. And here's what I'll say: he didn't stream on the most important night, the night that it happened. He didn't stream. He took time. He waited. He thought about it. And no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
This is very
Oh my gosh, this is bullshit. If you wanted to grift off of it, you would do it breaking news. You would do it immediately, just like Benny Johnson. You motherfuckers, no, you guys don't understand the algorithm. You guys don't understand shit. And then you get up here and you act like you understand the game. You guys don't understand the game. The best thing to do would to talk about it as soon as it happened. As soon as it happened, you talk about it. You get the clip farmers, everything like that.
What about the butt sex with Jake Shields?
All right,
let's talk about that.
Let's just say that it's all authentic and good and fine, right? Okay, great. But
It's not.
To what end? Because Nick's and Charlie's audiences, despite people being like, oh, Charlie was coming around, they're still very different, and one is way more Zionist than the other. So.
Hey, can I before we get too far off, can I chime in?
I think that's so. Like, it's gonna maybe this is a case of a guy being. Maybe this is a case of a guy just being a normal human being about someone getting shot and killed, and being like, well, this is the
chat. What are we
exact same
doing
type of
here,
work
man?
I do, and I'm a very polarizing figure, hated by many of these purple-haired types. Could this be me next? Don't know. This is a big moment of clarity. Holy fuck. Like,
yeah, I mean, let's just be honest here. Let's be honest here. What better time do you have to come out and to start stoking up your audience, stoking up the groypers. What better time is there than now, Zaganol? And you know what he did? He de-escalated the situation. He said, don't do it. He acted responsibly. And nobody here, shut the fuck up. Nobody here wants to even put respect on what he did. You guys all want a moral fag, and you want to get in here and act like
it's the bare minimum a fucking person could do.
Exactly, it's the bare minimum, and that's exactly what Nick Fuentes did. Somebody
why do we have to respect that?
Okay, it's the bare minimum that a human being would do, and Nick Fuentes did it, despite the fact, Boxing, that everybody has demonized him, everybody has made him out to be subhuman, and he did it. What did Hassan Piker do? You want to turn the sword? You want to turn the sword on Nick Fuentes? But what about what Hassan Piker did? What about that? No, you want to hyperfixate on Nick right now. You have a bias, Boxing, because you're a Jew. You have a bias because you're a Jew.
No, oh, right. And
why?
You are
Zaganol's a Jew too. Zaganol's a Jew too. Shut the fuck up, Florida.
Here's the thing. I think that
Zaganol's a Jew.
Nick has said all the right things, and until proven otherwise, until proven disingenuous.
Well, you're a nigger lover, and you're a wigger, and you like the fact that he sucks Kanye's dick, and he's a spick. What do you want me to say? This is dysgenic fucking movement of a bunch of dysgenic freaks. What do you want me to say, Josiah? I don't like the direction. I don't like the direction of these fucking losers who are worshiping a guy who's clearly pissing in the wind. Everybody here.
I'm sorry, Boxing. It seems like you're taking out your hate. I'm gonna speak now because it seems like you're upset with Nick Fuentes. It seems like you're upset with Nick because Charlie Kirk got murdered by a transgender.
Relax.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing.
We don't know.
Josiah went on for like 10 minutes.
What he really feels. So let's just assume that what he's saying is. Take it at face value and
the bare minimum. Everybody in here, regardless of the size of their influence, would all agree that it is stupid to be violent now.
Oh my gosh.
It's the obvious bare minimum that everybody here would agree with.
Not for Hassan Piker, Boxing.
Who gives a fuck about Hassan Piker?
I do.
What do you see, he's a leftist.
Hassan Piker's not even like
a leftist who killed Charlie Kirk.
Oh my god, the fucking muting is incessant.
Yeah, let's stop the muting, but
you guys refuse to take the points that I'm making seriously, which just shows that you're being disingenuous. I'm trying to mute you, follow the feds. I'm trying to mute you.
I haven't said anything in the whole space because nobody could get a word in. That's all I'm trying to
can you let him speak? God damn it!
Okay,
please let. No,
because all you guys are gonna do is counter signal somebody who went out and did a good thing tonight.
No, he's making an opinion.
It's literally face value. What I'm saying is I'm still old enough to remember in these spaces when multiple groypers would come in and say rape, kill, die for Fuentes, and we had multiple people who used to be regulars.
Anyways, Justin Reloaded retired. He was done. He was sick of the game. He sold this channel to me. I bought it from him. I was his designer. I worked with him pretty closer. I worked with him pretty close. So, sorry guys if I'm not talking very well. It's because I muted this conversation, but I'm still hearing it in my earbuds.
Pravity, and it's at the same time he's there hanging out with Ye, who sucked his his sibling's dick allegedly, and he's out there with his new shotgun.
Stop this. This is so disingenuous. If you're not gonna add proper nuance to it, it's disingenuous. Yes, it is.
You're trying to tell me not to believe
what
my eyes see.
It's a simple drive-by. It's a drive-by shot. You're acting like a black person who goes and fires a whole bunch of shots at a house and accidentally kills a baby. No, this is what you're doing intellectually. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, honestly.
And you're just getting emotional about it. I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to say that somebody like that's going to fill the void.
I'm super emotional right now.
And I'm trying to tell you exactly
you don't know
why
what you're
somebody
talking
doesn't
about.
agree with you. This is why you mute people, Josiah. I'm trying to have a conversation with you and try to tell you why no one's going to take that serious.
I got 45,000 views tonight. My live stream got 45,000 views tonight.
I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I have a full-time job. I work.
Nobody cares? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Nobody. No.
What I'm telling you is
how amazing. Wait a minute, Zaganol. Let's take a minute to celebrate the fact that.
What I'm trying to tell you is the void that Charlie had.
Oh my God! Nobody cares. 45,000 views tonight. Zaganol. Zag, be quiet. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen for a second.
How much?
Just listen for a second. Just listen for a second. My friend 2 days ago got murdered. You know how hard it's been to get up on the internet and to talk about this shit?
It's insensitive as fuck. I don't want to hear your
Nobody
numbers.
cares.
So stupid.
You're trying to make this
Nobody
about
would do
Israel
that.
boxing.
To follow Don, I want to do
It's not. It's not. Oh my God! You guys keep on unmuting. You keep on coming in with your narrative. You keep on coming in, dude. This is not because of me. This is outside of my control. I've done live streams before. These numbers have never been this way.
Nobody cares. You brought it up as like an annoying point.
Oh my gosh. I brought it up to say that you guys act like you have pull and you have sway and you guys are fucking lunatics. You don't. So why don't you shut the fuck up and add a little bit more respect to Nick Fuentes, add a little bit more respect to what he said tonight, and stop being such disingenuous assholes.
In high school who are lying about their sexuality, who are manipulating young men to go to hell. Lucky's a Catholic. Like, this is all.
Oh, now he's gay. Now Nick Fuentes is gay, huh?
I can give you guys something from the outside looking in as a black man. A lot of the white friends and Latino friends that I look on the outside looking in,
brother,
they feel as fervent as you,
brother.
But
what are we doing right now, chat? What is going on?
Be like, what is next? Do you guys have what is next after Charlie?
Fuentes.
Okay, if it's not him, that's fine. But I'm saying there has to, like, for example,
it's you, Thomas. You're next.
Well, I know I'm next to I'm black in TND. No. I'm asking.
No one's gonna replace Charlie Kirk. It's gonna be a void.
No. It's gonna be all of us. That's the thing there. So Thomas is next.
Dude.
Guys, listen.
That's it.
I'm saying Charlie Kirk had a huge, like, there are normies that cared about college football, that cared about like all the shit that I like in normie black people shit. There are white people that are normies. And if they see Charlie Kirk being assassinated, that's important to them. It changes the narrative. And I say,
okay, chat is upset because I flex my numbers, but I have to prove to these people, okay? Listen, this Twitter space right now, it has like 400 people on it. And they need to add some more respect to the Zoomer class.
From the space. So you guys can continue this conversation. I'm dropping from Ghost and
Thank God.
I'm going to get one minute, Josiah.
So you can brag
Josiah,
about your
go
life.
do your notes. You're not letting me talk. I'm not letting me talk. I'm not letting me talk. 1 minute, and Josiah, don't be triggered by this, okay? You could go do your stream with 4,500 people, okay? I just need to speak for 1 minute to get the point across.
All right,
okay?
let's hear it, boxing.
Why people like myself take me out of the equation. You want to listen to people like Fall by Feds who still has his foreskin, okay? Why we don't respect people, don't respect people like him is that the Muslim Christian alliance, the Kanye West sucking off, the playing by the wind, the Ollie Alexander thing, this and that. No adult respects this type of behavior, okay?
This is retarded.
No man who has a real job and a real family gives a fuck about this shit. And you guys are all following this.
Dude, these fucking like millennial boomers that keep on doing this shit, they do this all the time. My mom's a millennial, but she's like one of the cool ones. This is not one of the cool ones, really. Just a weirdo. He's so weird.
Embarrassing that you follow him to any degree. Be a fucking man and stop following a faggot, homosexual spick who likes and sucks off nigger dick, okay? And stop being a fucking faggot. Anyways, have a good night.
That's
crazy.
And that's crazy. I completely disavow every single thing that you said. I disavow all of the harsh language that you used. I am on a live stream right now on YouTube. That was completely inappropriate to do. And I think that was strategic, honestly, Zaganol. I think that he wants the death, and I think he wants the destruction of so many young American white people like myself who grind and they hustle and they work their ass off. And guess what? They get to work with people like Charlie Kirk and so many other influential voices. And then they come in here and they just kamikaze. I thought you guys weren't a fan of the Muslim behavior of the kamikaze, but yet that's exactly what boxing just did. Completely inappropriate. I disavow the entire thing.
Josiah, honestly, like I'm telling you, brother, let me say, I'm telling you, That is absolutely. I think he was gaslit. Let me tell you something. I absolutely disavow how he went out, final language and sign off. And Zach, you know where I'm at on this. I disavow that, but at the same token, um, you're not going to take Nick and put him in the place of Charlie. And also on top of that, I think that he was very calculated with what he did because he was trying to
Oh
accumulate
my gosh,
that
man. Everybody with
audience.
their fucking
And you can't
conspiracy
say,
theories,
because
man.
you've
This is
spoken
crazy.
several times here, you've spoken about numbers, you've spoken about who you had on your podcast and this, that, and the other. I get it. But at the same
I'm
time,
sorry, are you talking
I
about
don't
me
care.
or Nick Fuentes,
Let me
Chris?
finish.
Well,
No, no,
I'm
no.
sorry, I need to ask a question because I'm
Okay,
misunderstanding
you
what
can
you're
ask a
saying.
question, but show me some courtesy and let me finish.
No, I'm not because I'm misunderstanding. So you
So you're not
finishing
showing me
doesn't.
courtesy.
No, I'm not because I
No,
don't know
he's
what you're
just all right.
saying.
Relax. He just go ahead and clarify your point again, I guess, Chris.
My point is this: it was timely. Anybody that reacted immediately was ill-informed and an amateur. So that's why he didn't react right away. And your previous speech was that anybody would have reacted right away. No, that's not what anybody with intelligence would have done. And we're talking about somebody that has a lot of
Oh my
intelligence with what
gosh,
they do.
Chris.
Please hear me out. Just hear me out.
You're wrong. And now you're getting muted because Nick did react. He did put up a tweet. And you know what he said? He said he was gutted by the situation. He did talk about it. So it's disingenuous when you say, well, he waited 24 hours. He didn't wait 24 hours. He tweeted about it. He talked about it. And he did give a gut instinct reaction. So that's a lie to say right now.
I didn't say 24 hours. That's a lie that you put that in my mouth because I.
That was the double mute, Chris. Let me clarify with the 24 hours. That's what Nick Fuentes said. He said he's going to wait for the rest of the night, and he canceled his live stream from last night. For some reason,
Hey, Chris,
Twitter
your
has this
police
double
officer,
mute.
was that just a right-on-right hate crime that we just witnessed? Because supposedly they don't do that. It's the left that's the problem.
Which police officer?
Gutted means it feels like your
I thought
stomach
Chris
was
said he was a
cut
policeman.
out. It's feeling
I
probably
think boxing
from deep
had a hate
remorse,
crime
something
as he
similar
left,
to what happened
right
with
on
me.
the
It
right,
just my stomach
hate
felt
crime
off the
right
entire
before he
day.
left.
No. I'm not a police officer. I'm a deputy sheriff. There's a big difference. And I'm
Oh,
not saying
deputy
what it is because
sheriff.
I don't know the details. And I'm of the profession that you don't give an opinion until you know all the details. And I know that you, Josiah, you have the opportunity to mute me because you're co-host, especially when you need to capitalize on your point. But what I know this and you know this. Strategically,
What
you
the
would
fuck is he
not
talking? What is
respond
he
right
talking
away.
about?
If you were smart and intelligent, anybody, especially marketing wise, campaign wise, anything, nobody would respond right away. I'm not saying that Nick is illegitimate in his feelings because I don't know his soul. I don't know
Maybe
his
he's right.
internal
Maybe he's
person.
right.
I don't know who he is. What I do know is that he's fishy across the board, flip flops,
Oh
and
my
at this
gosh,
point in
man.
time, he stands to capitalize on a lot of things
People don't really
that
understand
Charlie
anything.
Kirk is now gone, and Nick Fuentes will never be Charlie Kirk. So do not position him as that.
I don't think any of us did. And in fact, whenever Thomas came on board, I said, Thomas said, who's going to fill Nick's shoes? And I said, you, Thomas. I think what Charlie Kirk represents is really all of us, which is why we all resonate with this so deeply.
I agree with you 100%. At the end of the day, what Charlie died for and what means something to me, I don't care if you liked him. I don't care if you disliked him.
He didn't die
One
for
thing
it.
is
He was killed for
absolutely
it.
sure.
Different.
Nobody deserves to be killed for their beliefs. No way, shape, form, or fashion. And we're not going to make this, I refuse to make this about someone else or capitalize anybody else. If you have character, if you have any depth to you at all, let's not mention how many numbers you have on some
Shut the
podcast or
fuck
what.
up, man. I worked with Charlie directly. He was a numbers guy. We all focus on numbers. This is what's important. This is about strategy. This is about coming in and bringing reform, bringing change. And you know how you do that? By studying the analytics and by focusing on the numbers, Chris. Maybe you should stick to your own space, and maybe you should just be a deputy.
Maybe you need to
No, you
understand
don't.
what
You
I've done for
don't.
it. No, no,
Trust
no,
me,
no,
you
no.
don't. You
You
don't know
just
more
chose
about the fucking numbers than I do. That's why I was Charlie Kirk's YouTube specialist. That's why I've worked with all of these guys in the social media game. You're not going to come in here and try and gaslight the audience and undermine my profession. Do not try this shit with me. I will not
because
have
you
it.
have the mute button and you used it frequently. You've already
And I'll
shown
keep
that, but
using
you
it
can't
every
hear me
single
out.
time you try and undermine
You can't
me.
hear me out. No,
Just
you
let
can't
him.
hear
Just
me
hear
out.
him out. Hear him out. Go ahead, Chris.
You can't hear me out. And the
These
bottom
people
line
want
is,
to
I'm
keep
not
gaslighting,
gaslighting you.
man. They
I
want to
just
keep
simply said
gaslighting.
what happened to Charlie Kirk was horrible. And anybody that tries to capitalize on that is wrong. And you muted me and then started literally a speech about strategy. Let that soak into you.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. What
What?
Josiah is talking about is that's part of what Charlie was saying. Look, I'm a black man, and I
Let's
know that
go. The
Charlie
blacks
Kirk
agree
may have
with
felt
me.
a certain way about black people, but I'm not
I'm
about to sit
absolutely
here and
not
pretend
Charlie. You
that
are
Charlie
correct,
wasn't
Vermont.
strategic. I'm not going to do that.
Well,
You
he
got to
didn't.
give the
Let
Yeah,
guy
me
I'll
tell
keep
you
credit.
muting
something.
him with
Charlie
his
Kirk was the
bullshit.
creator of Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro was
Oh
strapped
my
on.
God. Y'all got it,
Do your
man.
Oh,
research.
Charlie
Y'all
Kirk
got
was
it,
Ben
Do
man.
your
Shapiro?
research.
Okay, wait. They keep on saying this. They keep on saying that Charlie Kirk was Ben Shapiro. This is easy to debunk. Charlie Kirk started 4 years before Ben Shapiro. Charlie Kirk was there before. He was faster, he was quicker, he was smarter, and that's why I get so offended when these people try to undermine me because I'm young. There's a reason why Charlie and people... So true. Hold on.
They're coming from completely different areas.
So
And Chris, you're an idiot because you don't know that it was
Let's
Andrew
go.
Breitbart that
Let's go,
installed
Brennan.
him. Okay, so
All
so
right.
you need to
You're
go
talking
back
finances.
and
You're talking finances.
read your books again because you're starting to be
So
irritating
for those who
and
don't
you
know,
don't
Brennan
know
is
your
like...
chronology.
Brennan is a Chad. He's a Christian, and he's way before Ben Shapiro. 4 years, way before. Brennan siding with me is a big deal.
It's terrible, but look, I don't think Chris is coming from a point of malice or
Just
disrespect.
retardation, really.
No, it's not retardation. I
It's
think
just stupidity.
he
We
may
heard
be-
the
he
same
may be-
thing
Bingo.
earlier on. We heard the
He's
same
out,
thing
yeah,
earlier on.
Maybe he's being a little provocative. Who knows? But it is what it is. But I don't think he's coming at it from a
I'm not name calling.
from a harsh
I'm
place.
not
I
being
think,
a third grader.
He's lying to the audience. Anyone who knows the chronology knows who installed
You
Shapiro.
guys, this is
and
my
it was
channel.
called Andrew
Show some
Breitbart.
receipts. Stop
Okay.
talking. Show receipts.
Yep.
You guys, this is my channel, but this is a stream. This is what I do. I get on these Twitter spaces, and I debate a whole bunch of people from everybody. And honestly, this is a melting pot of people on the internet. And I debate, I make alliances, I fight with them. I fight for what I think is virtuous.
Facts, and you've been basically
Specifically,
bullshitting
what
people.
facts are you talking
You've
about?
been bullshitting people here
So you
on
just keep
on the
talking.
stage. You don't know the facts.
So you just keep
You're
talking.
basically pontificating as if you know the stuff, yet you're not saying
As
the
if
truth.
you are right
and
now, right?
you've been
Yeah,
corrected.
he's like the white Umar Johnson. I mean, the
Let me see
pontification
who Allison
is so
is.
grand.
Oh, her hand's been raised the entire time.
It's like, how did I know who Tariq Nasheed was? I learned from his
All right, we're
old
gonna
school
let
pimp
Allison
and hoe
speak.
shit. And that's what you do. You can't do that to Charlie Kirk. You know, so sad. I'm black and I may not like Charlie Kirk for what he said about black people, but I know he has a genuine trajectory. And I can't sit here and no.
What did he say about black people?
No, we're going to evade this, and I want to jump to Allison because she's politely and kindly had her hand up this entire time, and I want to respect the women in our space. Allison, please, let's hear what you have to say. Perhaps that was the double mute. I hope.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Allison.
Okay. It was like stuck on mute there. So the reason why I wanted to come up, it's kind of like, I'm not trying to backtrack too much. I just wanted to say real quick that I did put the video or post in the space. I just wanted to talk about the Paul Pelosi thing real quick. So the video, if you look at the video, I just wanted to say the assailant, regardless of the relationship, the assailant was not in his underwear. I just wanted to point that out.
I'm sorry, chat, for letting Allison speak. That callback to Paul Pelosi was from 30 minutes ago. Anyways.
Hey, I was patiently waiting, by the way, just for the record. I tried to get this from, but
I know. I'm glad you got that out there.
Hey guys, I'm gonna crash out, but listen, y'all be you.
Oh,
At the
God.
end of the day, opinions is what makes the world go round, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna be passionate about mine, just like you are yours, and that's what makes the world go round, and I'm happy about that. But at the end of the day, there'll never be another Charlie Kirk, and a lot of us are hurt over it. Give it time to heal before we start producing somebody else that's going to take
Nobody's producing somebody else. It's
I'm
just
out.
he just made that up.
See you later, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, see you later. Get some good rest, man. Your body is a temple, and you should be getting rest. You should be getting ready to go and fight tomorrow for virtue and for what's right. It's very important that all of us are taking these things seriously. We're gearing ourselves up to fight for what's right, and so get your rest. Anyways, Joa, let's hear what's going on, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, look, we just saw someone get killed because of his speech, and we were talking about
Really?
radical left. And then what we witnessed was someone who is very offended by Nick's speech become completely radical on the space live for everyone to witness. And then we want to keep making this a partisan issue, right? Like, literally, someone just died because people didn't like what he said. More than likely is the cause. And then you see how people are reacting to Nick. Like, I might not agree with Nick. Nick has a right to say whatever the fuck he wants, just like Charlie Kirk did. And no one should get that emotional about it. That is the problem, is so many people becoming extreme. And I do consider now boxing an extremist just by his reaction
Wow.
and the fact that no one
That's
else
big.
could talk. No one else could talk because he needs to get his extremist point of view out, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and should show a little
Wow.
respect. If he
Boxing.
cared so much about Charlie Kirk, why is he attacking a guy because of his speech, right? And I'm not a fan of Nick at all.
Well,
And
you know,
just saw it
Joa.
happen live.
Well, I mean, he's not killing
Joa,
Nick.
here's something
No,
that
he's
you
not
said.
killing.
We
He's
can
just-
attack. We can attack each other.
Yeah, here's something Joa just said. He said this isn't a partisan issue, and that's exactly what Nick said tonight on the speech.
It's not. The left and the right, when you look at the numbers, we're not that fucking different. We disagree on three things. We disagree on abortion, we disagree on climate change, and we disagree on guns. That's
This is
the
what
only
Nick
thing we
all said
disagree
tonight, by
about.
the
But
way.
everyone must make it seem like
And this is
the
what
left
people-
wants to convert all the kids into trannies.
That's not true.
This is why it's important when you go into these spaces and you have conversations, right? Like, it's important that you're going and you're listening to somebody who's smarter than you, somebody who understands what's going to happen, and that you go into the battlefield better equipped for what the enemy is going to come and say. And so, yeah, if you guys are following along, you guys notice that what Nick said tonight is a lot of what's happening in this conversation on the Twitter space. Well, let's get back into it.
Economic lines have similar intrinsic values, but unfortunately, some of the people who skew further to the left, a lot of those values are coming out flawed now. Like, oh, we've got to be 100% inclusive, meaning if someone's got a child who's going trans or whatever, or non-binary, whatever, we need to like embrace that. And I have to tell my kid not to like make fun of it or point it out or ask questions about it. It's very normal, right? Like this is the problem, because now we're normalizing it, and their neighbors who are conservative but friendly are now being told to just shut up about it. But then they have to have a message for their child about this now. gender non-conforming kid. It's like, okay, here's what we have to know. It's becoming way more that's just one small example in the microcosm.
Well, no,
We're
LGBT.
becoming,
Hold on.
we're becoming super split. Even neighbors who have similar jobs and income and their kids go to the same schools, they're not seeing eye to eye on stuff, and it's now becoming greater, and they can't speak about it. It's taboo to discuss these things.
And abortion and guns are just
for
wedge
example,
issues. That's not that's not the
Abortion
only
and
things
guns
we
are
just.
the wedge issues for
example,
much bigger issues like race and huge.
All right, you guys, I'm going to use the restroom. You guys will listen to this and fill me in the chat, please. And I'll be right back.
See a huge moment before Charlie Kirk's passing. Rest in peace. I'm not some black guy who's going to dunk on him. I meant to disagree with him. But Charlie Kirk was a decent guy, and he spoke about free speech. What we're going to talk, what my whole point is, like, I live in Houston, and in Houston you have a lot of liberal-leaning judges that they let criminals get away with a lot of things. They get low bail, low bond, and they get out with like murder. Okay, so once it affects black people, once it affects people that aren't on your guys' side politically, you start to see a denouement of like, what do people want? We want justice, and that's across the board. That's white people, black people, everybody. But the problem is like, it can't be in totality if we're not American. And what kind of American are you? And so like that's another thing too. Like, because like if someone kills somebody, I want them to fucking pay the price. But I'm considered a coon, half conservative nigga, even though I have to stick up for my people. I stick up for my people all the time when I'm in these spaces. You guys know that. But whenever I agree with you, what you guys agree with is justice, I got black people up in arms against me. So
Thomas, we just let a Republican, a judge appointed by Donald Trump, just let a pedophile run away. So it's pointless to point at small examples and be like, "Oh no, it's the left. No, it's the right. No, it's not."
Right.
Tom Alexandrovich, right? That was caught in Nevada. First off, he was allowed to go back, right? And then no one with a Class B felony is allowed to appear by Zoom, but he was, right? And that is a Donald Trump appointed judge. Okay, so you can point at examples, but I'm going to tell you, I will point as just as many that were appointed by Republican presidents that did doing the same exact shit.
Okay,
this is not partisan.
Right.
He's also a diplomat.
So no, guys, I ask you, then what do we do? Is it a long-term plan? Do our kids infiltrate? What do we do to get rid of these judges, to get rid of these policies?
All right, I'm back.
It has to be long-term. It can't be quick, especially with the fucking woman problem.
Oh, Lord. Woman problem.
You could get rid of them. It's the Congress that legislates the courts.
Say we could get rid of women? You guys chat. Are you following here or no?
Get rid of all the federal judges.
Okay. How long does that take?
Guns save lives.
You guys are smarter than me. Now I got no. Hold on.
Charlie
let me finish.
Kirk believed this
I just
too.
got done watching sports ball and my football. How long does it take to get what you said to get done? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? You got votes. You got fucking feminism. You got fucking Islam.
IQ to
you got
the two.
Pajeets. Like, there's a lot of demographics.
First of all, thank you, Smokey Mo, for moderating the chat tonight.
That. Like, you tell me I'll follow the blueprint as a nigga, and I don't have very much power.
Well, the legislative process will probably take like a year. I mean, to be honest with you.
You said what?
Okay, so with Trump being in office, like the backlash, Trump trying to fight the judges.
Person?
Like,
what do you say?
My issue is that everything that we're saying for right-wing people, and I'm right-wing and I'm black, and I agree with a lot of the stuff you guys say. What do we do with the backlash after Trump's gone? Because like what we're seeing is like we can have all these presumptions of what we want to do and how long it takes.
Thank you
but it's
to
going to be backlash.
LXL School.
And how do you fight that? Like, what do you do to fight the fucking opponent?
Well, you know what they have. right now, I hate to say it, but like with Charlie Kirk's death, I think that we have secured the midterms and probably possibly the generation that's coming up, probably the next 20 years
Yeah.
of conservative
Yep.
domination. Like Charlie Kirk's death was so impactful that you're taking all these college students that are going to now that turn into Turning Point USA, that we have a whole generation that will become slowly conservative.
Do you
All
think
right, you
the
guys.
woman question is solved from the political?
This X space right now has about 300 people in it. The gripers right now are talking though, and I'm curious what they have to say. So we're gonna transition over to a griper space and hear what they have to say about Nick Fuentes' speech. Maybe I have to leave first. Hold on 1 second.
That Charlie Kirk, you say, was marginalizing, speaking out against. This is the man. You say he's far right. I'll give you a hint. We're far right. Okay. And he gate kept us out of the conversation, made it so that we couldn't speak. Now, moreover, Charlie Kirk is the man who led Blexit, who propped up and brought up Candace Owens in order to, and what saying specifically that.
Okay, so the people who are talking, they have a large following in the X Space community. So we talked to a lot of people who you've heard of in this space, and they have large amounts of followings on X, on Twitter. So this is what I call an X Space. I call it X Space Wars because I truly do value these conversations that are going on X, as I think so many of you do as well. This is free speech. This is marketplace of ideas. This is fighting.
As far as what they don't talk about unity and all that, yeah, it's really hard when they're all jeering and cheering on the assassination of a close family friend of Donald Trump's. When they're all doing that, and when they're all saying that this is a good thing, when all of their rhetoric has been to call us Nazis, fascists, to say punch a Nazi, but you people like you know what I mean by that, are all playing the knockout game all over social media. You're doing shit like that, and you want us to be what, just talking about unity? No. Can't we all just get along? Please don't punch me again. Please don't shoot us again. And yeah, on immigration, Charlie Kirk was the guy who not too long ago was saying we need to staple green cards to every high school diploma a foreigner gets. So, when you're like, oh, he's against immigrants, he's against what? Yeah, really? And this is the last point I'll make is you took out the most moderate. Yeah, the most moderate, the most tame. If you think he was far right, you just wait till you see what comes next now that he's out of the game. You took out the most tame, the most moderate, the most prominent of all right-wing America. The most prominent right-wing American in existence. And you think things are going to get better for you? You think that we're going to be speaking about unity after that? Charlie Kirk was holding back the rest of us. You stupid motherfuckers. He was holding the rest of us back.
Before the assassination, they weren't jeering on an assassination. Can you agree to that?
No, I think they were hyping everyone up for one. I think by calling us all Nazis, by calling us all fascists, when Dean Withers and Harry Sisson and all these others are running pages saying he's raising an anti-trans army.
There we go.
That's going to gun down transgenders in the streets.
There we go.
They're begging for someone to do that.
Hold on. It's the excuse that they use for why it's okay that it's happened. Oh, he's a Nazi. He's a racist. He's a this. Like that's literally how they're justifying doing it.
No, I'll hand it over to Chief.
It's much more simple. It's much more simple because in this exact space, directly from his own words, the aptitude person said that Kirk deserved to be punched and have something thrown at him. I like to hear why.
I said that over assassination. Like I said, like I get
why
like
it doesn't matter why
being upset to want to punch him. Like that's
Why?
how Americans are violent, bro. Like we don't have to play stupid
No.
here.
That you see,
We
there's
saw what
difference.
happened when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked. Like they posted to him and he said the guy should be getting bail.
Huh?
Like why
What are
we
you
act
talking
like that
about?
didn't happen?
What are you talking about?
When Charlie Kirk was advocating for bail over the release of the gay dude who attacked the elderly people, Nancy Pelosi and her husband, right? He was advocating for bail. When the Minnesota lawmakers was assassinated, right wingers and conservatives were praising senators, elected senators were praising up and down the
What is he talking
timeline
about?
about it.
What is he
Number
going on
one,
about?
you can put a receipt up. 'Cause I've never heard of Kirk talking about bail for
I'll
Pelosi
post
or
it in
whatever.
the
But
comments.
number two is more importantly, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about you specifically. You said directly on the space that Kirk deserved to be punched and has something thrown at him, and I just want to hear from you why you think that's
Charlie
the case.
Kirk deserves
Because
to be
I know the
punched.
answer, and I think
The man
that
who got shot deserves to be
well,
punched. This is
there's
what
two
we're
answers.
I
doing,
think
my
that you're getting
friend.
lost. It was a comparison over overt, like when people were gonna act violent. I said I could understand people wanting to punch. People like want to punch people
It
for
wasn't
saying
understanding.
stupid
You
shit all the
said that you
time.
would. It wasn't. There's a difference there. You said understand. You said you would. There's a different space. So why'd you say it for?
Well, I didn't say I would. I said I understand why people would want to punch him. I don't. You're playing semantics here, and it was
No,
about
it's not semantics.
opposing his assassination.
Is there between understanding, which even worse of itself, and then saying doing. That's the difference. And there's two answers actually. One answer, which I've been talking about for a very long time, which is kind of why I think this is a very large left-wing problem. The words of violence. That phrase has been in campuses, in academia, in literature, in leftist movements since 2013. I've seen it. I've heard it. It's in pamphlets. New York Times posted about it. Even when Mila was in Berkeley, they were all saying words of violence. Even if we look back all the way to 2015, you heard the Snowflake compilations and people saying words of violence back then. And we all laughed and giggled and thought it was the dumbest thing ever. They believe that. They believe that their opinions warrant and allow someone to be beat up. That's why when just today, actually, when you had the Students for Life female president on campus in, I think, Minnesota, having an event, and the people are celebrating and cheering and clapping like seals for the assassination and saying he deserved it. It's because they think the words of violence. They think that a disagreement or even like a mean thing encourages the highest level of violence on someone. That's what they believe. And I think the left and really many people who are trying to cover for it should really understand that is where we are with this. And at least for disagreements on immigration, are you kidding me? Kirk was one of the people, and as your soldier said, he was a moderate. You say he's far right, that's like the biggest joke I've heard. Kirk is someone that was a
Trumpster, I
moderate.
didn't say that Kirk was against immigration. Trumpster, I said that there was a senator who posted online that people cheering on, we want to get rid of immigrants out the country for their speech, for their free speech, immigrants. And I made the case of all immigrants aren't illegal immigrants. That would be completely against what Charlie Kirk stood for, deporting somebody because of the things that they're saying. He engaged in debate. That's what he stood for. And I see people using his death as a way to silence others. And I feel like that is wrong. And I also posted the clip of Charlie in 2022 calling a guy a patriot who attacked Nancy Pelosi and her husband and called him a patriot and said he should get bail. I posted it in the comments. You said you want to see the receipt.
Was it a full
it's
clip
there.
or is it a snippet? Because if it's some
I
out of
keep seeing.
context bit,
What do you mean it's a full clip?
This is this has been a common tactic I'm seeing with leftists after I've traveled through a few of these X spaces. They keep on bringing up Paul Pelosi. Fascinating, huh?
Yeah, I've been seeing
We're bringing
that
up
a lot.
political violence. We're bringing up political violence and it being encouraged and cheered on.
I'm sorry, was Paul Pelosi shot in the neck in front of 1,000 college
I said
students?
political violence. Why are you?
I'm saying it's different. It's not equivalent to what actually happened. And the fact that you keep on acting like it was equivalent just shows how stupid your argument is. This is not equivalent. This is not an equivalent hypothetical. This is subversive. This is a subversive tactic that you're using right now now to try and distract
not
from the
doing a
fact that
subversive tactic. I'm
Charlie
being,
Kirk was
bro, I'm not
murdered
trying to
in
do that.
cold blood. Somebody
I'm not
got on
trying
a
to do that. This is an
rooftop and
escalation.
they shot him in cold blood. And now you want to
This
talk
is an
about Paul
escalation.
Pelosi from 3 years ago. Really, man?
Okay, but
That's
this is
what you that's what
happened to
you want to
Charlie Kirk
stand
was
on right now?
escalation, bro.
Is that what you believe in right now? Really? This is about
What
Paul
happened to Charlie
Pelosi?
Kirk was an
The whole
escalation. I
thing.
already
You guys,
condemned it.
chat, I
What more do
can't
you
believe
want?
this breaking news. It was Paul Pelosi
Soldier, you
who
were
did
right.
this to
People
Charlie
just want to
Kirk.
get on stage and just have something to say. Like, I didn't say it was equivalent. I was talking about how
You
both
have nothing
sides
to
were
say.
doing things,
You have
and it
nothing to say.
equated it up to this escalation that happened to Charlie Kirk, unfortunately. But it escalated to this point because both sides, I called out both sides throughout my entire speech. And I said, when
Yeah, nobody
incidents
cares about
happen,
calling
we
out
see
both
both
sides.
sides cheer it
Nobody
on.
cares about
It's
calling
chicken
out both
before
sides. It's not about both
but that
sides. It's
thing
about one
happened and
side.
people cheered it on.
They keep on
I
trying to
brought
act
up
like
how
it's about
how
they keep
Donald
on trying to act like it's not about one side. It's about both sides. It really is. It's both sides. Both are at fault. No, it's about one side right now. That's it.
lawmakers assassinated. And they're Donald Trump literally said, they said, are you going to call him? No. Why would I call him? I'm like, wait, what? You're the president of the United States. You should be condemning the violence. But did he choose to do that? No. So escalations just keep happening. So there's going to be another escalation. There's going to be probably somebody that happens on the left. And then it's going to be again back on the right. The escalations just keep happening.
Wow. What a black pill that you're trying to serve everybody right now. Listen, that's not what Nick Fuentes did tonight. He told everybody tonight that you shouldn't take the bait. Don't allow the left to create another martyr. Don't allow the people who are anti-God or Satanists, who hate America, don't allow them to bait you into doing
Who
these
hates
things.
America? People hate people who get passports. They hate America.
Who hates America? The person who decides to kill Charlie Kirk. That's who hates America. What the fuck are you talking about?
Him. You don't know more than FBI. We don't know anything about the person who killed Charlie Kirk. We don't know anything about him.
What are you talking? Another subversive tactic. Who killed Charlie Kirk? It was somebody who hated Christianity and hated virtue. Or else, why else would they kill Charlie Kirk? Once again, another subversive tactic that you're trying to use.
Everything is a subversive tactic.
No.
It shoots down your narrative.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying anything that's false.
I've heard this line also in the false space about not knowing who did. And to be clear, like we have no idea who the shooter is. However, if we are to look at the massive, at least decade plus in my time, of words of violence people, the Antifa people, the assaults on TPSA employees for years on end, the people who were trying to shut down these events and all this, if we were to really just take an educated guess here, I'm guessing educatedly, just taking a shot.
I think people earlier
figuring this out. It's probably.
I think people earlier really weren't understanding the fact that there's a war right now going on the internet about who Charlie Kirk is and what he stood for, and everybody here wants to get in and tell you this is why Charlie Kirk was martyred. It's a terrible fight, but it's one that's happening, and we're not allowed to sit idly by. We're not.
Plan something horrific out. But I really think that even by that standard, saying we don't know who did it.
They want to tell you it's about Paul Pelosi in the chat, you guys. They want to say it's about Paul Pelosi right now. That's what they're going with. This is the story that we've now heard twice in 2 separate Twitter spaces. What about Paul Pelosi? What about what Charlie Kirk said about Paul Pelosi? Really? We're going to go and psychoanalyze what Charlie Kirk said about a situation from a few years ago. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that right now. Zero understanding, and zero honor, zero respect. This is who we're dealing with.
That the left is keep escalating, and by them continuing, like right now, they try minimizing the very real problem on their side. It's going to get a lot worse. And I very
Trump said, do you fear martial law? Do you fear martial law?
Do I what?
Do you fear martial law?
I'm not fearing it right now.
Not right now, but I'm saying, do you fear that martial law could take place with the Republicans controlling the House, the Senate, and the presidency?
I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, I guess. I'm not really thinking that's going to happen, though.
I thought that the right and conservatives were against big government, but then when I see you guys cheering on things that agitate the communities, right? That push them to a boiling point where we're sending in military instead of enforcing our police. I watched where people push back against defund the police for so long, only to watch Donald Trump come in and cut funding that helps police departments.
Oh
Like,
my
it's
gosh.
confusing to me
Well,
where I
I
just
think
look back at this thing.
I think it's confusing to you because you're misinterpreting what conservative means these days. Like there used to be there's a terminology that's always fake about big government bad, small government, and that's taught in schools and all that. But I mean, quite at least for like the modern day interpretation of conservatism,
Nard
it's about
FBA. Karma is
having
a
small
bitch,
government for taxes
bitch.
for sure, but having a large government presence on the southern border, having that as an example. You need to have a large ICE personnel to cover the southern border, the Canadian border, to enforce our laws because of the mass influx of illegals. Like you need to have a large government in that aspect for it. And I think that trying to say, or I guess, basically have like a tree and say, well, is it big government? Yes, then it's not conservative. I think that's not really going to be capturing most people on the right these days. Like they want to have government, on the border. They want to have a lot of ICE people, and by definition, that's a large government. And when you have more government employees being, I guess, recruited, and having more funding for ICE, that's more government. But people want
I
that
get
because they
that.
need it.
I understand that. I understand that. Like when I see instances like the lady who messed up the Hyundai plant issue because nobody could understand the instructions, and that was going to provide an extra 1,000 jobs to the people of that city where they came up and rounded up all those South Koreans. I'm looking at that. I'm like, is this the large government where ISIS enforces? But I'm like, this is supposed to bring jobs to that community, and they hired those people on temporary visas to come build the plant to provide extra jobs to that area. So I look at things like that and I just get confused because I'm like, it seems like big government only works when it's against them, but then when it gets back in your hometown, like the red states that have high murder rates, they don't get the National Guard sentence out of them. Like this is attack just on blue cities where I look at it like, all right, this I get where you want to enforce safety, but then it's looking like it's not always equally pushed out because a lot of our red states have some of the highest murder rates inside the country, and it just goes look the other way. Speaker Mike Johnson state for once it gets no attention, but
Well,
people ignore the high murder rate.
for what it's worth, I think the issue is you have a lot of these blue cities where a lot of illegals are, and that's why I'm putting a lot of people on the ground there. However, like if there's a lot of crime in a red state or a red city, then if law and order needs to be done there, then yeah, if there's a need for law enforcement and not anyone helping out, and there's like high crime, then there should be people, being sent there to stop the rampant crime wave. I'm not sure, like,
But you don't see that happening.
are
That's
you
what I'm
saying?
saying.
Well, hold on. Are you saying it's saying politics because like right when people want to go and do this? I think that at least for myself, I think that there's like a large amount of crime that should be dealt with, whether it's like a blue or a red or whatever color, city or whatever. But I think the point you're missing is when it comes to like the government, like for philosophy, we moved far beyond that. Like that was something in 2016 about like big government bad. That was a TPUSA talking point actually from their like old
Yeah.
literature. That's totally gone now. Like that's non-existent with us. And really anyone in the young or conservative movement that's like moving towards this ideology.
So have you seen, like, I get what you say big government is now the new point of it, but then when we look at the results of like real people, it's like on TV, I hear all the policies and I'm like, all right, this might work out, this might be cool. But then I see the results and I'm like, yo, I see unemployment rate skyrocketing, and they'll say like, oh, it's because we took the illegals out. But I'm like, bro, there's metrics that we don't count illegals on. And like I'm looking at the unemployment rate for people that's younger than me, 19 to 26 years old. I'm looking at the amount of job losses happening inside the country. I'm looking at people looking at grocery prices not dropping down. I'm looking at wars still that we're engaged in. I'm looking at escalations with Russia. I'm looking at like what promises have gone through besides what us pushing past the courts. If any Democrat president did half the stuff that was done, I mean with success. If any Democrats did half the stuff with success that was happening with the Supreme Court and the judges, we're calling all of our judges correct. And we're calling all of our judges immoral that make a ruling that people don't agree with. And they're saying, oh, they're weaponizing the courts. They want to pack the courts. And I'm like, bro, the Supreme Court is 6'3" conservative. When Obama wanted to get a judge in, I think the Speaker of the House literally said we shouldn't do it because we have another president coming in it, just to turn around and watch Trump do the same exact thing. And then I'm looking at what happens with the Supreme Court cases, and I'm like, this is setting up for the future presidencies. And with the Supreme Court rulings, because the pendulum keeps swinging back and forth, every time we get a Republican presidency, we're coming out of a recession. Democrats clean it up, and they get blamed for the first 2 years of it because they cleaned it up shit. And then when the new regime comes into office, they get the credit for what the Democrats cleaned up as far as deficits go. And I'm like, y'all talked about deficits all this time. Meanwhile, the big beautiful bill, all the polls show on Fox that it's not popular, as Mike Johnson keeps saying. It has more than 50% disapproval.
You see,
So I
like,
just get confused.
well, I think the
Wow, what a
issue,
tangent
I
that
think you're
was.
doing
What a
this
tangent
political
he went on.
lens in like a decade old, like, like glass, like magnifying glass. I think that first of all, we're talking about the stats, the courts and all that. I mean, I had to go back and look into this because actually there is I vividly remember talking about this on a space and saying, oh, well, they did this in the first place, and McConnell had even mentioned that and brought it up during the during one of his interviews actually. And it was also a separate article I read about it on the space, which was like months and months ago, I think last year or something, if I recall. But number two, I mean, you're talking about foreign wars. I mean, the dissident right have been like the leading voice against foreign wars. I just think that you're thinking that because it's a right wing, somehow we're all in agreement to it. I think
Maybe
that
that's the problem. Yeah.
that is because like I have spoken out so much against so many things
In
that Trump has
fact,
done,
that's
right?
one of the things that we've disagreed on Charlie Kirk and
Like,
tried to debate him for years about.
exactly.
And we all feel robbed of our opportunity to have that debate now that he was assassinated.
Well, I mean, hold on. I mean, let me just say this. I mean, like with like us, like we've had so many. I've had so many like people tell me,
Bro,
oh,
Luca,
how
I'm
you can
trying to
say
eat
this
a
about Trump,
burrito
how
right
could you
now. I'm
do
fucking
this, and
hungry.
and so much drama
Can you
with
relax,
spaces
please?
and whatnot for this. Like, we have been calling stuff out like on the left and right for forever at this
Nobody's
point.
gonna
And
listen
like,
to you anymore because nobody
I
cares.
think that
I don't know who you're talking about.
you're just viewing things in like a very old, I guess, lens, and it's just not reflective of what's going on right now. Like, we're not
Just wait. Let
just
me
red and
cook.
blue
I'll
anymore.
cook in a
The
second.
lines are
Relax.
much more grayed. Like, we're not
Golly,
really,
man.
in like a checkbox where you're checking off every right wing point, and that's it.
Just
Like, we
not allowed to
disagree
get
with Republican
hungry
thought
out
so
here?
much. I mean, we want to have, at least for
Unacceptable.
myself at least, I want corporations to have more taxes, especially ones that are like outsourcing our labor to other countries or importing more immigration to take our jobs, to signing wages. There's like a plethora of other things I can point to that I disagree with. I mean, on the right wing.
But Trumpster, don't you feel like if you could see that lens for yourself, don't you feel like the opposite side of the spectrum has the same thing? I remember how watching Democrats
What?
go against their
What is
own
he
party,
talking
like
about?
as far as the voters go, where you can look at the numbers. They just simply like, you know what, we're abstaining from the vote because we don't agree how you guys are moving with the fucking Gaza war. We don't agree with how the party people call what's Hakeem Jeffries. They call him APAC Shakur. So I look at it where it's like, bro, there's a large side of the left that mainly calls the Democrats pussies, which is why their approval rating.
Well, hold on. Well, think about it.
Yeah.
So we have on the right. Think about this. We have dissident right, right? That's the right wing, faction. On the left, you got progressives who are like, anti-Israel because of the genocide in Gaza and are calling out people who are AIPAC, funded, which are on both sides. Just like the people on the dissident right call AIPAC people who are on both sides. Right, so like that shows that politics isn't just red or blue, left or right anymore. It's asymmetrical. It's something that isn't necessarily a checkbox one down.
You
And
have
that's
the
all you do.
establishment and then everyone outside of it.
Exactly. Correct.
If I may, let's invite some other some of the others who have requested and been patiently waiting.
Right. I can't be on for too long. I actually am like trying to. I've been going through like hundreds of like things, so I got to go and verify a ton of things here. So,
No worries, man.
but I appreciate talking. And I'm a little bit tired here, so I'm probably gonna head off.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Chief. Always a pleasure to have you, man.
Does a lot of good work.
I saw a comment from someone saying that
Chief Trumpster does a lot of good work on the internet. Posts a lot of clips. He's very strategic, very smart. He plays the game well, and he's the reason why I know a lot of the stuff that I do, because he posts it and nobody else does.
Round of applause. Send him a follow. A true soldier.
Seriously, Chief, you've done a great job.
Thank you. And yeah, I think his name was Root here. Big 07 to you, Root, for watching way back when. And I'm glad to see you still around and on the good side here. And a lot of people, surprisingly, I'll just say this, who like were commenting on my old YouTube videos, like I know them as distant and right people. I do. And there's some of them are mods in my chat, and some of them are active on replying and all of that. Some are friends I know in real life, and I'm glad to see many people, not all of course, but many people who watch some of the content are on the right side of things. So I really appreciate that. It meant a lot.
Well, if you'll stick around just a moment, let me give you your laurels real quick, because I just have to say, I'm a little emotional right now. Things are raw. Life is short. We got an all too serious reminder of that. But Chief Trumpster, there are few guys out there who will really feel the lengthy, hard conviction to do the hard work day in, day out for so many years, putting their nose to the grindstone and really doing what it takes to get shit done, to make a real difference in the world. And I think Chief actually has made a real difference in a lot of people's opinions and a lot of different things that people don't even know about. And so he's a real one, for real. Everybody give this guy a follow. Let's give Chief Trumpster a round of applause, shall we?
Let's go.
Appreciate you,
Great
big dog, for
work.
real.
I appreciate it. Have a good night. Everybody, thank you for the kind words. It means a lot to me.
All right. Now, just the order of things. Let's see. We have, and let's see, I'll bring this guy up too. But we have the order, I believe, was Demoralized up next. And then we have Johnny. And we'll get to others after that. Demoralized, what's up, man? How you feeling? Maybe demoralized is demoralized.
You think maybe?
You think that's the case here? Fascinating.
Well, we'll see if he ever comes back around. Johnny, you're up, man.
Okay, guys. No, I love the real American first. But I do have some criticism for Trump. Basically, it's really a small criticism because I'm Chinese, have no allegiance to China, but I follow.
That's what they
I
all
wanna be
say.
Chinese. I'm gonna be Chinese soon.
What?
After watching the military parade,
Brittany's
she
Chinese,
wants to be
and she's
too.
Jewish, and she's
You're
all
talking-
these
I
races.
would like to be accepted by the Chinese.
She's Jewish. They can blend in with anyone,
I can
Hey,
do that.
hey,
So I'm
hey.
gonna be a Chinese person. Okay?
Who's Jewish? No,
Me,
just
but
kidding.
no,
No,
I'm Chinese.
no, I'm just kidding.
Get
That's
with
funny.
it. I'm Chinese. Okay?
Yeah, right. Okay, no. Everyone wants to be Chinese, right?
I would like to be a Chinese
But
person.
No, we don't want to be Chinese. What the fuck is
I
this
don't
guy
know, you gotta
yapping
eat
about?
rice.
Oh my
I do
gosh,
that, okay?
man.
Now what?
You gotta. I don't know. You gotta support Trump.
Okay, I'm
But-
gonna need another Chinese person to tell me because this is not helpful.
But anyways, I'm gonna just say this: that like even the shooting, there has been some conspiracy theories about like who is this shooter, what motivation is it, and some people say it's China, and obviously yes, there are Chinese spies in America, but I'm not one of them, right? My allegiance is toward
Wow.
America. It's
He's
toward
so
Trump.
scared.
It's toward
He feels fear
you know, it's toward America.
because of
Like
this narrative.
I was born in Taiwan, right? I'm not no allegiance toward China, but you know, they are a rising nation, and you know, it is a multipolar world, in my opinion, right? That's just the facts. So
If you guys want
I
to get
don't
on this
know.
call, I'll drop
I
the
don't know
link right
exactly what I
now.
want to say, but you
And
know,
I'll text
I'm
Mayo.
really down the
let him know
middle. You
that
know,
I'm opening the chat up.
like I'm
for this
down
space.
the middle. But even though you know, I support Trump. You know, like you know, like I think I don't know. I like Bryson Gray. You know, because really the forward movement is religion, right? Like, and you know, and I think you know, it's not just Catholics. You know, I don't know. That's it. That's it for me. I'll let someone else speak.
All right. Thank you, Chinaman.
Well, we love
Fuck
China.
you.
After the
No,
military parade,
no, just kidding.
we are in full support. If you could send that message to President Xi, we're the good ones, okay? And we
Okay,
don't want
sure.
any trouble.
Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's
I'm
go.
ready to
Let's
talk.
go. All
I'm
right,
ready to talk to
demoralized.
you.
I did see demoralized with the react, so he's alive. He's awake. What's up, man? We'll give him an extra second to figure out how to unmute his microphone.
There we go. Can you
All
guys hear
right.
me?
Thank you for being so patient, demoralized.
Oh man, thank you guys. It's good to be here. I'm honored. Listen, I cried at the bar today. I actually broke down and cried because I
Yeah.
had a lot of people saying Charlie Kirk spews hate speech,
No.
and he, you know, he got what's coming to him, and I was so
Golly,
angry
man.
that I had to walk away and fucking cry, which
Wow.
is like the first time in my life that I've gotten that upset.
No, I get it.
I feel like I'm
That's sad.
newly radicalized. I've always been angry at the left for what they are doing to America, but this is something else.
Yeah.
And when I saw that footage, I couldn't sleep last night. I had to go to work today, and it was a rough day. 9/11, Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm just waiting for. We have 9/10, 9/10, 9/11. When's 9/12? It's coming.
Oh shit, that's a good
Well,
point.
now I have to ask. You say you're newly radicalized. I do see the Cyrillic in your bio, and is the skull mask new or?
That might be 2 years old, but that's more of a. It looks cool.
Okay, I see. Yeah, man.
Really?
No,
What is
yeah, it was.
That's
can I ask a
impressive.
question, soldier? What does newly radicalized mean to you?
I mean, I didn't know
true.
what to do with myself today. I mean, I almost wanted to, you know, there's nothing you can do without, you know, committing suicide, pretty much.
Wow.
As a, I don't know, man. I don't want to
I
talk
get
anymore.
it. And to touching, heartfelt
I don't want
message
to,
you
you know,
got there.
I have a life. I have a life I want to live. I have family I love. I have people I love, and I'm just very angry.
No,
I think a lot of people.
I feel like a lot of us died when we saw that video. And I'm somebody
Yeah,
who
absolutely.
worked with
And
Charlie.
it's still stinking.
I'm somebody who got to see him in person, and it was heartbreaking to see. And you know what's crazy is that somebody sees their friend get killed once, but I think we all saw him get killed 100x over. And now we have AI lunatics right now who are zooming in and saying, look at the ring, right, soldier? Right, Brittany? Look at the ring.
Yep.
Was this really happening?
Makes it sick.
And this is a demoralization campaign that's happening. It's offensive. I've never felt offended like I felt right now. Honestly, I'm not somebody who gets triggered. I've never been a snowflake, but this is hard to see people who are insane, who should be institutionalized, saying wait, but look at this specifically. And I see the blood pour out of Charlie Kirk. And I see these people who don't care about the fact that his daughter ran up because she was scared of the loud noises, and they think this whole thing is some big grand conspiracy. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself with this shit, man. It's completely inappropriate.
Well said. I saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I saw the assassination of what everything America stands for. I think we could do something, but at the same time, I feel very black-pilled. Like, what are we gonna do? Nothing happens.
Yeah.
You know,
Nothing
on some
happens. We
level,
talk about it.
I feel like, and I know it's not exactly
We're gonna
right.
talk about it. We're gonna post Christ memes. We're gonna post Jesus memes. We're gonna post, we're just gonna post, And I mean, but that's all you can do. We're on the right. We're not violent.
Demoralized. We could change laws. We could have
We could change laws. We could try. We could try.
Well, the
Laws
fact
don't
is,
stop
that's
gunmen.
what Charlie Kirk was trying to do. And you may disagree
Laws
with
don't
how he
stop
wanted the
gunmen.
laws changed, but he got up there and his whole shtick was prove me wrong. That's all he ever asked for, was for people to debate him, to
Yeah.
prove him wrong. He wanted the
Absolutely.
laws changed. And in our democracy, that's how you do it. He was an advocate for his own personal beliefs. And really, I think that's something that shakes every American, is but we all feel the right to do that. That's the deal of being an American, is you have the right to do that. And when you're killed for it, when that right is stripped from someone so prominent in such a big way, it shakes you to your core. You're forced to ask yourself if we really have that right as Americans at all anymore. If that's really something that you
Absolutely.
can do. If we can
Soldier, I get,
change the laws, if you can advocate for change.
Soldier, I get
When
that,
do
but
we
like you're
say
talking.
enough of this stuff?
But wait, Soldier, you're talking to somebody who has the same skin color of the people in this country that's been politically assassinated: Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
Oh my
Fred
God,
Hampton.
man.
Like the list goes on for black people
Okay,
who were
bro.
speaking
I don't want to hear
for their
you
own
You don't have to
people.
be
over
in
your
this country,
skin
brother.
color, bro.
You don't have to be in
This
this
is
country, brother.
ridiculous,
If
man.
We're
you
talking
hate
about
this country
This
so much,
isn't
you can go
about
back.
being black, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, this
we're
is not
talking
about
free
being black,
speech.
man.
You talk about free speech. He was talking about changing laws.
No,
They
we're
all
not.
talk about changing
We weren't
laws.
I
talking
wasn't
about black
saying, now hold
skin.
on. I think why the reason they're jumping down your throat is I didn't say Charlie Kirk was a white guy, and seeing someone with a white
Yeah,
face get killed really affected me. Seeing a little white girl really affected me. I didn't say
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
assassination was bad because he was
Exactly.
white. And yet every time you hear a black person, that's what they go to. I'm black, and
Exactly.
MLK was black, and Malcolm X was black, and that's why it affects
We're
me.
just talking about the reality of you're
No,
speaking
we're
to people who
talking
know
about the
about this all too
reality of
well.
you taking your identity and
America didn't
placing it
cry
into
when
your
Fred Hampton
melanin.
got killed.
You really want to identify so closely with black people? I almost feel
You want
bad
to
for you. This
identify
is
so
pathetic.
closely with
Stop
people who
identifying
hate.
with the
Fred
color
Hampton
of
was
your
killed for
can
skin,
you name
perhaps,
an instance
and
where a
maybe
white
you
guy
should start
stood behind a
identifying
black
with
female and
Christ.
a
Fred
subway
Hampton
and
Maybe
was
you
killed
should
for his
start
stabbed her in the neck
identifying with
ruthlessly to death?
Christianity, with virtue, with
Malcolm X was
more,
killed for
with
his chance.
morality. But instead,
Malcolm X
Martin
was
Luther
assassinated by the
King,
CIA.
Martin Luther King
Well, let's not say
King
Jr.,
was
that.
the
the
person killed for his
homosexual,
speech.
is that who you want to identify with? The
Show me the
sodomite?
proof of it.
Martin Luther King
King. You
Jr.,
talking
the
about sodomite?
rapist?
You're
Is
talking
that
about
who you want to
sodomite? We're
identify
talking about,
with?
bro,
Are
there's
you
child fuckers in your
serious?
party. It's child fuckers all
I
throughout
think,
the Republican
man,
Party.
I,
What are we
I
talking
broke
about?
down today. Let me speak.
What?
I broke down today for the first time in 2 decades. I do not cry.
Yeah, this
I
is
was
beyond,
shaking with
man. It's always
fury,
about
anger, and
race. It's
sadness.
always about melanin. It's
I don't know what to
narcissistic.
do.
It's demonic. It's
What do we do?
inappropriate.
That's my question.
Now, understand, Negas. He's not saying that because Charlie Kirk was white. And what I said, I'll state it again, is Charlie Kirk, all he did was advocate for political change with the laws, not in a racial sense, nothing like that. And we aren't identifying with him for that reason. It's because he was a prominent right-wing American whose whole deal was debate me and change my mind. And in fact, even MLK, while he was arguing for black people specifically, he was saying we should judge people not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I only
And
spoke
what
about the
happened?
content of Charlie Kirk's character,
What
not the
happened
color
though?
of his skin.
can you say that people lived up to his dream? Like you said, do you want to identify with black? They came out of your mouth. So like we can't act like this country don't have a history of people who were speaking up. Martin Luther King spoke a lot of unity. Him and Malcolm X was at odds because Malcolm X saw him like, bro, you're cozying up to the white people. You want to do this. And Martin Luther King like, bro, we should all be coming together as a people and as a country, as a nation.
Now, do
And they
you feel
still
like
took that
Black
shit back.
Americans? Do you feel like Black Americans have lived up
They
to
can fight this
MLK's
one.
dream
They'll
since
fight
then?
this one. I don't
I
need to
think
fight
that
this
they
one.
feel exactly how demoralized feel, where they watching people always take back the progress that they're making every time. They talk about changing communities, but then they cut funding to those same communities, and then they blame them for crime and all these types of
I have
things.
a
Like this,
potential solution. I want to give every black American in this country $100,000-$200,000. Send them the fuck home if they hate America so much. Send them out of
no
this
one says
country.
black people hate America. Black people help build the country just like white people did, just
Oh
like Spanish
my
people did.
That's
god,
bullshit.
man.
That
They
is
never got their
bullshit as
40
well.
acres and a mule. Everybody got
48
reparations.
acres.
except
Dude,
one
the
group.
black
Yeah,
philosophers.
the last time you
Every
No,
guys
no,
black
no,
worked,
person
no.
in this black
It's
country.
crazy. Mio,
the last time
Brittany,
you
the
guys
black
worked, you have to be
philosophers
good.
Every
built
time a
this
black person
country.
did something,
This country,
I said
founded
help
on
build the
Last time
country.
principles
blacks have
revolving
worked
They
around
in
didn't help
God,
America,
build
was
this
they
built
country.
have
around
to be
black
rich.
people, our
Now,
Guys,
slaves.
let's
hold on a
stop,
moment
man.
here.
Let's
Now,
stop.
Amazing.
Negus, you see, it's just this sounds just a lot more like it's all too common with black people. It sounds like gimme 40 acres
Our
and a
country
mule,
was built on
gimme
ideas,
reparations,
It was
gimme
not
promised.
more
It was
cotton
money,
promised
picking.
gimme
smoke.
more for blacks.
It's ridiculous that people think that our country was built on like our White House was built by black people. It's ridiculous.
Sitting here like gimme the way that
They
blacks
all
do.
got theirs. White
Why
people were
are there
given
zero
land for the
monuments
cheap.
Black
in
people,
Africa?
white people
Zero
You guys
built
don't
it.
monuments.
understand what the Homestead Act was. White people were given land for cheap when black people was given scraps.
Why
Like,
didn't
what are we
Mr.
talking about
Beast
here?
donate 30 wells
Yeah.
in Africa and they're
Great
all
point.
fucking destroyed
Give,
within 2
bro. You're
years?
acting like we
They
didn't
don't have
have
water
communities.
anymore.
You're acting
He
like black people
trained
didn't
them.
have communities
He
that they
trained
tried
them.
to build on
You
their
know what?
own.
In Africa, they don't even have the word maintenance.
Africa is a whole country. You act like white people don't live in Africa. Like, what are we talking about here? You sound stupid. You act
Well,
like
I
black
mean, the
communities in
point
this.
is that in all of Africa, every country in the entire continent, right, it remains the same. Whether they were colonized, whether they weren't colonized, whether
It's
they've been
not whether
given
they were
funding
colonized.
and
You guys
wells
always like to leave out the
and foreign
context.
aid or not.
You like
Total
okay, there's only one
African
country that
L.
wasn't
I mean,
colonized.
Africans really just can't
Colonization
accept
was
the
the
fact
best
that they've
thing that
lost.
ever happened to
I mean, it's
Africa.
really pathetic. Their lack of
And
self-awareness
it's
is
the
something
worst
that I
thing
think
that
is
Okay,
happened to
let's look
pathetic.
at the country that was never colonized and they strived. When people were making money and carving up Africa,
Africans
nobody blinked
colonized
the
and
eye.
they strived. Is that what you're saying?
I said Ethiopia is the only country that wasn't colonized and it strived. I look at how they carved up Africa. I look at how black communities in America tried to do their own thing. And what
Okay.
happened? White people
It's the
came in and
Ethiopians.
started destroying it. They did it constantly. Every time they tried to build up, white people came in.
Yeah,
And
it's the white
destroyed,
man.
took it
It's the
apart.
white man,
They
huh?
built
Huh,
highways through
Negus? It's
black
the white man.
neighborhoods.
The white man is the problem, huh, Negus? Charlie Kirk has been
No. I think the
assassinated,
laws
and
are
you're
the
getting in
problem.
here and
It's
you're
the
saying it's the
laws.
white man. It's the white man
I'm
that's
saying
the
it's the
problem.
laws. I'm saying it's the laws. You're saying it's the black man that's the problem. Like you're talking about.
No. You're saying
It's
it's
the
the white
laws
man.
that
You're
they
saying
put.
that Ethiopia was
No, you're
attacked by
saying
the
it's the
white
white man,
man.
bro.
That's what
I
you
keep going
just
back.
said
It's the
right
laws.
now. You're not going to gaslight with your low IQ bullshit. You just try to
You have
say
low
that
IQ bullshit because
Ethiopia
you
was
guys fuck
untouched
children.
by the
You're
white
child
man,
fuckers and you're
and
embarrassed of
therefore,
it
oh,
because
now see,
you
look,
find
he
out
just
white
says it.
people
He
being
just says it
racist and dying
openly.
out.
He just says it
That's what
openly.
it is.
He
You know
says that the
race
white
is
man, the
not
Republican
multiplying, and
Party,
you
he
guys are
says that
fear
Charlie Kirk,
eradication.
he says that all of these people who stand for the virtue and the
Charlie
morals
Kirk
of our
was
country
racist.
are
It was
child
okay.
rapists. He thinks
I
that
didn't have a
he
problem
thinks
with
that
Charlie
white
Kirk being racist.
people
That was
are
fine. I
pedophiles.
don't have a problem
And
with
he
Charlie Kirk
finally
being
said
racist.
the
I don't think he
quiet part
deserved to
out
die.
loud. This is disgusting behavior, and the fact that he
Charlie
can't
Kirk didn't
see,
deserve to
he
die.
doesn't have the vision, he
Simple as
can't
that, bro.
understand what's going on,
You
just
don't
goes
push
to show he's incapable of being a
You got
part
people on
of
your
our
stage that
party.
got Nazi
He's
symbolism
incapable
and you
of
hate
being a
people
part
are
of our
Nazis.
mission. And you know what? You should go
There's
back to
people on your stage
Ethiopia.
with Nazi
You should go
symbolism Nazi, he
back
hates
to
being called
Ethiopia. You should never speak the English language again.
This guy has a Nazi hat on, and he talks about being.
That's a
called
German hat,
speaking
you
Chinese.
bloody idiot. You are so
Because you have
fucking
Nazi
ignorant.
symbolism.
Wait,
Nazi
now hold on a
symbolism.
second, Negus. Is this guy a Nazi? This is important to clear up because
I don't know if he's a Nazi. I said Nazi symbolism.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know
Is
about
my mic on?
Nazis, man. I mean, that's
Is my
really
mic on?
crazy.
I said you have Nazis on you have people that have Nazi symbolisms on this stage.
Oh my God. You have black skin just like George Floyd, a fentanyl addict. You have black skin just like so many of the murderers. You have black skin just like 60% yet 50% of the homicide rate. So should I judge you according to your hat or should I judge you according to your skin? What do you stand for, Negus?
One question. I have one question, Negus. This may sound strange, but now that I'm thinking about it, what did Nazis ever do to black people?
Nazis persecuted
absolutely nothing. There were actually black Nazis in the Third Reich. Sorry.
That's cool. There's also white abolitionists. What's your point?
What's your point then?
My point was the fact that you guys have people in here that support Nazism, Groyperism. All of that is associated with Nazi ideology and fascist ideology.
So supporting blacks, apparently.
Y'all support it. Y'all don't
and black support
BLM
and Black Panther shit.
You saw the Black Panther that was making a free food program, and then the government cracked down on them because they didn't want them feeding their own communities. That Black Panther program that started off as a non-violent people's movement, that same one. You're not talking about that one.
Oh, really? Black Panther started as non-violent. Are you
talking about how
really
the
going
Ku
to
Klux Klan isn't even labeled as a terrorist group and still in existence to today? Like you talking about like those groups? Like we got to be clear on what the history of this country is, and y'all like to ignore it to y'all benefit. The Ku Klux Klan is not a terrorist.
Sorry. When was the last time the Ku Klux Klan was active? Why are you bringing that up?
Neo-Nazis. The Ku Klux Klan is still active.
Wait, but
hold
on.
Wait. What wasn't the Ku Klux Klan? Was the Ku Klux Klan like affiliated with Nazis? I'm confused now. There's Nazis.
They've transformed to neo-Nazism. They've transformed to neo-Nazism. They call themselves a new clan. You can go to J squared rooms.
Sounds like a bunch of anti-whiteism.
Anti-white people. Nobody has. Most of white people live amongst black people everywhere. Like,
no, we don't.
That's what I don't get. Like most of the white people I know. Like I'm from the tri-state area, so there's white people all around here. I haven't been down to the south, but I heard it's a lot different down there.
No, we
but
don't.
Here, I don't see what the rest of the country sees where it comes to like white versus black too much. Because up here,
it's not white versus black.
Well, then where's the animosity towards white people?
Yeah, exactly. It comes from himself, man. It comes from himself. There was no animosity when I grow up. No, nobody cares. Because let me talk for a second. I grew up around a ton of blacks. In fact, I was considered a Wigger for the longest time in my life, and I was considered a traditionalist Wigger. They called me the trad Wigger, and none of the blacks had a problem with me. All of your friends, you'd probably identify with them. All of the MLK Junior simps.
And black people, bro.
Bro, I'm not going to send you a picture. You're not even worth it, bro. You're a fucking idiot. The fact that I'm just saying something, getting to a bigger, broader point, and you interrupt me is pathetic.
Brother, they don't care about that.
Yeah, anyways, so I used to bully the black people because it was basketball season. I would make fun of them. Yeah, now I'm going to keep making fun of them.
Thomas here calls himself the black voice of life.
Okay, that was escalationist a little bit. But we're going with it.
Thank you for having me on.
Brother, I don't know where you're from, but I've dealt with white people for
Thomas
a very
was in the
long time.
last space.
The way that you're by the way, guys.
Well, no.
It's not a black.
Thomas is black, Negus. Stop it.
I'm so black.
Hold on, his profile picture is a football player, and you think he's not black?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. My point is that you sound like I'm gonna let you know, brother. You sound like you're trying to get something from white people. They're not gonna give you anything. What do you want?
The way he said, brother, he's definitely black. I heard it.
A white person.
No,
we know that white people cosplay black
what we're
people
not gonna
online
do
all the
is
time.
talk about the inflection of my voice or my diction. That
we
ain't
know
gonna
white
happen.
people cosplay black people all the time. Like,
yes, I know that. I ain't that motherfucker. No, wait, hold on, dog. Hold on.
Simple as that. I don't believe.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Now, the difference is a lot of these white guys know me and they know I don't deal with they bullshit. I'm asking you, brother, what are you trying to get from them? Do you have what is the use of me arguing?
What makes you think I'm trying to get something from them?
Well, no, you're telling me, no. Listen.
Wait, he's saying ask right. He's definitely white. I'm sorry.
No, white. As a
Again,
resident
see, you
white
see what
person, I can tell
happens?
you, whites can't say
When a black
brother
person
with the
has good
soft A
diction,
like
in a
that.
he's
Groyper
white
space
because
right
I have
now.
good diction. Again, you're a coon.
Oh, you have?
You're a white person who probably says the N-word in the background. A 30,000 IQ points below for
Just
you.
like, I mean,
Whoever
this
said
is
that
this
bullshit.
is bullshit, honestly.
Now,
like,
I have bad news for every.
somehow we're talking about Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes. We're talking about what happened tonight, and they're making it about Paul Pelosi. They're making it about MLK Jr. You know, it's disheartening, really.
Yeah.
It's pretty specific.
Despicable.
And these people just rant on. They rant on and they rant on, and it gets off track, and we just have to keep on recentering them, you know? Recenter back on what matters right now. It's not about white versus black. It's really not. And like Nick said tonight, it's not about white versus black. Because there's a lot of black people who have a conscience. It's about people who don't have a conscience.
The godless.
The people who look at that and they celebrate. And sadly, I'm really sad to say it, but it's white people. There were white people, from what I saw, that celebrated Charlie Kirk, celebrated what happened, and I'm deeply ashamed about it. I really am.
But there was a black guy that literally was stealing MAGA hats.
Yeah,
after
but
he
that's
was shot.
expected. But I wasn't expecting a white person to go put his hands up and to
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
And to celebrate the fact that a daughter heard a loud gunshot and she ran to her father. She ran to her father because she heard this, because she was scared. This isn't. I can handle the blacks. I'm not worried about the blacks, honestly. I'm deeply disturbed by how the whites have reacted to this entire situation, really. But we'll jump back to the Twitter space.
And that's your fault,
voice
dog.
I ever heard in my
You
life.
about shit. You want
Has
to
anybody ever met
no.
Thomas?
You a coon
Has
ass
anybody ever met
nigga.
this guy
You
in real life?
Lamar Johnson, Tariq
Who met
Nasheed
this guy in
supporting
real
nigga.
life?
You a
Where's the
hoe.
moderator?
You a
Wait.
bitch
Who moderated
made
from
nigga.
Africans?
No, we tired of it, dog. We heard
We
you
tired
talk,
of it, dog.
nigga.
Yo,
We
you was
heard
watching
you talk,
BET
dog.
earlier?
We heard you. You're
Thomas,
not
you was
black
watching
because
BET?
I said so. You a bitch made nigga. My
All right.
great-grandfather was
Look
born in
how
the
angry
plantation.
you
My
get,
mama was
bro.
a crack. No! Shut the fuck
My
up,
mama was like,
nigga!
what are you talking about? You watch too much BET, bro.
Now you
You
mad
watch too
because
much
you was
BET.
yelling like a nigga. You can't out
You was
nigga.
watching The
Now you
Wire.
mad.
You was
Well,
watching The
you
Wire
don't
too
sound
much.
black because I'm
You're not
Poindexter
convincing
and I
me.
sound well to the white folks.
Hey,
And
Fox
you should say
Marshall,
something bad about
tell
your
me what your username
Sound
is,
like
man.
you are, bro. I don't think
I'll try and
anybody
get
in
you
this
up
room has
here.
ever met you before. I don't think anybody in this room
I'm
has
not
ever
a
met you
co-host, so I
before.
can't let you
I'm
up.
No
gonna
one
shoot
ever
you with the
met you.
223, nigga.
You're
I'm
just
a
a weird.
hoe.
I understand why you
Nigga,
want to be
you
black,
sound
bro.
like
And
you're
I
gay.
get
You're
why you want to
gay,
be black.
dog.
That goes for
You
any
a
of you
hoe.
guys.
On
If you
You're
want to
certain
not
follow me
black.
times,
on
now
Twitter,
You're
maybe
it's
not
different
black because
individuals,
you
you
JosiahN.
probably
If you
didn't say
guys
think
want to
bad
get on
stuff
these
about
Twitter
white people.
spaces,
I understand, bro.
You
There's
a
probably
hoe,
like
dog.
if you guys want to debate in this, just let me know. Here, I'll share the space in the chat. Here's the Twitter space right now. And you guys can
What
join
did you
in.
do?
Stop
You
trying to
attacked
convince
my
me you're
diction.
black.
tell
How
them
I
to
I don't
let you
think
spoke.
up
you're
if you
You
black.
drop
a
your
bitch made
username.
nigga. You're a white supremacist. This is why you're here before me.
Who's
You
brought
like
up white
y'all talking to
supremacy?
white people
I don't think
because you
anybody said anything about
denigrate
white
black
supremacy.
people who speak well. You a whole nigga. You a
You
bitch
sound
made.
like upset, bro. You sound fat too. Like
You
just relax, bro.
you sound
Sound
like you're
fat.
white. You sound like you're white,
I don't know
right?
what that means. I don't know what that means. Like
Well, you
I heard
accused
white
me of
people
it
talk
beforehand.
like
Hey,
Eminem talks
y'all got
with a
to, hey,
Detroit
y'all
accent.
got to,
Like
hey,
I
white
know a lot
folks,
of white people
pack
that
this
talk different
bitch
ways.
ass nigga
Hey,
in the
what the
I don't know,
bag.
like
fuck
He a
is going
hoe.
Ben
on,
He a
Shapiro
man?
bitch
sound like
made.
Hey,
Obama.
what's going on
You know what I
here?
mean?
Can you guys calm down?
Hi. All right. So that's fun.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm curious. I can't tell. I'm hearing both. Is he white? Is he black? I don't fucking know. He can say ass, but then he sounds like Carlton. But then he does have a little bit of black like jive in him. He's definitely chimping out. So I mean, what is this guy? He's very confusing. You're very confusing. And
I
he's
don't.
very.
I don't think whites can say brother with the soft A the way that
I
he
don't
says
know.
it so fluently.
I think whites can say things like blacks
He's
a lot
black.
easier than blacks can say things like whites.
Josiah, will you try it to test it for all of us with the soft A?
Brother. Well, here's what I
See,
will
it
say.
didn't hit the
I know
same.
for a fact that Thomas is black because he stood up for black people despite the fact they didn't know he was standing up for them in multiple X spaces I've been a part of. And
You're
so
trustworthy.
this black on black crime that I'm seeing right now is not what Charlie Kirk would have stood for. He was fighting
Yeah, because
against
white on
this
white
right now.
crime is what happened to Charlie Kirk. That was a
Listen,
white person that
listen, niggas, shut your fucking stupid mouth, you retarded bitch. You're such a fucking
Stop
idiot,
talking tough
man.
over the internet, bro.
I swear to
That's not how
God, man,
smooth
if
you
I
are.
saw
You're
you in
120
person, I would slap you in your
You got
bitch
that little
mouth.
mustache.
I wouldn't even
You got that
slap
little
you, I'd slap
mustache.
your mother and your father, who's
You wouldn't
probably
slap
absent
anything. Like,
because he
this
went to the
violence
gas
that you're
station and he
perpetuating
never
is
came
not gonna
back.
solve anything.
I would go and I'd find your father. I'd find out where he was at and I'd slap him in the face for allowing himself to raise this disgraceful child that
This
you are,
violence that you
Negus.
push, it don't solve anything.
It's
It don't
disgusting,
solve
man.
anything.
There's no violence here. I'm just telling you the
You just
truth.
said I'm gonna smack you. Like we're going to threats of
Yeah, I'm
violence
gonna
so
smack
quickly.
you, I'm gonna smack your
Brother,
mom, and I'm gonna
words of
smack your
violence.
fucking absent father, you stupid idiot,
Words
man.
of violence. Words of violence.
Words of violence, bro. Words of violence, a slap. You guys can't handle a slap. You guys can't handle a
Which is why all
slap,
of you
man.
hide
A
your
slap.
identities. You all
Listen,
hide your
Charlie
identities
Kirk got
because you're
shot in the
cowards.
fucking neck. He was killed. He was assassinated. And you guys are worried about a fucking
Oh, we're back to
slap?
Charlie
You
now? Yeah, I
stupid
know. White on white
fucking
crime didn't
idiot,
stop.
man. You're
White
worried
on
about
white
a
crime
slap in
wouldn't
the
stop.
face, skin to skin,
Y'all
and a
didn't have white
slap,
on
and
white
you're gonna
crime.
cry victim. You fucking
Y'all
idiot.
didn't have
Oh
white on white
my
crime. I
God.
don't understand
This
why a
is
white person would kill Charlie
pathetic,
Kirk. He did
man.
not deserve that.
Listen, I was
Charlie
just,
Kirk did not deserve
hey,
to
let me
die,
just say
especially at the
something
hands
real
of a white
quick. Let me
person.
just say something real quick. Negus, I was just joking about slapping. I'm not interested in finding your mom, finding your dad, and slapping you guys. That was just me being hyperbolic. That was me being escalationist. And I'm sorry for that. You know, it was just me. It was just me escalating things because I want to hear the truth about what you really think.
You're trying to get cool with your bros.
Niggas, what do you okay, when you're in
We
this
escalate.
space?
We
I'm gonna
escalate.
ask you,
We
you talking to
escalate.
these white folks.
They are
what
not
are you
even
trying
worth
to
a
get from
response.
them?
Don't punch down, brother.
Oh, no, I
No,
came in here
It's
because
it's
I
worth
follow
it.
Chief
It's worth
Trumpster. I
it.
don't follow
You
anybody
do
else in this
this.
room.
You
Chief
played the
Trumpster was the
game.
one
You
who brought me
say
to
you're
this space. I've been space
sorry.
with Chief Trumpster. Had a
Okay.
lot of productive
You go
Okay.
back. Okay, Fox
Okay.
Marshall. Let's see
Now
who
I'm
you
gonna
are.
tell you. No, I'm gonna tell you right now. Every single time I'm in the spaces with white folks, I try to come up with a solution because they want to blame black people for everything. Or it's not all of you, not all of
Because
you
they're
whites.
victims.
No, hold on. To some
Look at it.
degree,
We
I
let too many
agree. No,
black
hold
people in the
on, hold
space.
on.
Fox
And
Marshall.
and
Let
What's
me
the
never
land
been
at?
747
and
Boeing, nigga.
destroyed.
Let
What's
me
the
land
at,
the
Fox
goddamn
Marshall?
plane. And there's a plane flying across my sky. Now, I'm saying if we're in the spaces, if there's black people and white people in this spaces together, are we trying to come to a denouement? Are we trying to figure out something?
Fox
Or are we just
Marshall.
talking
What
shit?
is your
We gotta make
at
up our
You're
mind.
not here the
on
beginning of the
Twitter,
space,
on
like
X?
where I
If you
first
have
was invited on stage,
requested,
how
let me
productive the
know,
conversation
please.
was. It got derailed when other people came on stage and things started getting incited. But like there was a very
Okay.
productive conversation between Soldier.
No, I can't. I can only allow your mic if you join the space. I'm not a co-host. I'm just a speaker.
Okay, well, for example, I'll land my plane in 30 seconds. In Charlie Kirk's death, people can feel the way they feel about it. But I will say this to the white constituents on this panel: you can't pretend that black people are allowed to feel a certain way about Charlie Kirk, about how he talked about black people. But it doesn't mean that
Oh
I'm gonna
my
hold on.
God,
Let me land my
man.
plane, nigga. We ain't doing that shit. I'm landing my plane. I got 10 seconds as a motherfucker.
You always do
Finish your
this
point.
shit.
I'm
Landing your
saying it
Boeing
has to be
DEI
even killed.
plane in 10 seconds. Let me land my Boeing DEI plane
Bro
in
is
the
a
next 10
pilot.
seconds, man. This is what you do in every space.
Hey, and it's smooth, isn't it? It's Barry White in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I'm
I
saying,
respect it.
I'll land my plane by saying we have to come to some concordance, or we just gonna keep talking shit. Y'all make up y'all mind.
Yo, shout out to
No, you make
everybody.
up your mind. And how about you land your plane, homie?
Brittany and Soldier, man, y'all doing a good job, man. Shout out to the crew. I know we got some America First people up in here. I know we got some Elon lovers, some Trump. Hey, we might even got some people who like whoever. You feel me? But look,
Yeah.
yo, I ain't even gonna speak on that. I need y'all to come to the space. We in CT, man. This is the best community. Every time you pull up on your
CT,
app, we
like
trending
Connecticut.
somewhere. You feel me? So show love, show love, show love. I'm not gonna shill nothing, but come to my space, shill everything. What we want to do is we want to shake the room real quick. First of all, if you wrong if you ain't following the host, you wrong if you ain't following the co-host. Shake the room. Take that heart,
What is he talking
hold
about,
it,
man?
turn it to the black. Black is the new green. Hold that purple heart, make that thing go black or go to your favorite color, right? If you're a racist, go make it yellow just so we can know who the racist is, right? If you're a sexist, make it red, right? We need to know who in the room. If you like getting rich in CT, make it do what you do. Black is the new green. We pushing that green. We taking profits. We going
is the
stable
new
in it. We
green.
using crypto and we getting rich. Y'all know what time it is. I
What is
said shake
going
the
on
room.
right
Let them
now,
know
man?
we
They're
in here.
spamming
Shake the room.
hearts right
Y'all
now.
see,
What
I
is he
got
talking about?
5.2 people I'm following and only 1.2 people following me. I don't care. I guarantee if you follow me, I'm going to make sure I follow you back. Shake the room, shake
Okay,
the room,
what the
shake the
fuck is
room.
happening
I
right
love
now?
y'all. I'm out.
Brother, you will
The
never
next
escape
pilot
poverty.
is cleared
You
for
will never
takeoff.
escape poverty.
The next pilot is
I'm
cleared for
sorry, bro.
takeoff.
Listen, Swag Surf just motivated me to ask who the fuck is Swag Surf.
Yo, look, I'm the #1 lobbyist in
The hype
CT.
guy.
Y'all come to my next space. We're going to have everybody there.
CT
I'm
in
actually
terms
The
of
next question,
Connecticut?
what is CT? Yeah.
CT. Okay. So CT is crypto Twitter, right? Or we
Oh
call it
god,
Web3. So
man.
y'all got most people in here is going to
All right,
probably
Bro, crypto fucking scammers right now, man.
actually used to work with Turning Point. Right? Like I didn't really want to talk. I talked already yesterday about Charlie Kirk, my brother, and I start crying. So I'm not talking about that right now. What I am talking,
True,
the space
real.
is where the space is. We bringing in somebody who teasing a presidential candidate, and we gonna be talking about crypto. That's it, yo. Hey, y'all shout out, keep the love going. I love the space. I love the energy. Peace.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go back down in the listener, but I'll be in here.
Well, thank you,
W
Swag
Swag
Surf.
Surf. Hey, and I want to say one thing
With
right now. Okay, let me
casting
say
point of
something.
respect, man.
I
We're
kind of feel
casting point
bad
of
because
respect.
I just kind of shit on him a little bit. That was indirectly, but
Bro,
I
you
did
good,
a
bro.
little
You
bit,
good.
and he showed us some real compassion, some real consciousness. So W Swag Surf, man, I'm gonna give you a
Loving the
follow.
positive energy. The next pilot
Right,
is
man. That's
cleared for
1 out of
takeoff.
100. That's 1 out of 100. That shows some respect.
The
All right,
plane
One
has
well,
out
I
been
of
love
100.
y'all.
landed.
I
The
may go
next
back to the
pilot is
listening space.
cleared
99
for
Love y'all.
pesos.
takeoff. So, wow. Yeah, this has been an interesting conversation. We have the blacks pointing black and white fingers at each other. We have disagreements on Charlie Kirk, on conservatives, on Ethiopia.
Oh
We have
shit!
planes landing. We have planes in the sky. We have
Yeah.
anti-air defenses activating.
But
Fascinating
I'm
stuff.
niggas,
Now, but
black
on
people
the
are so
topic though,
obsessed.
so so Thomas, how are you feeling about Charlie
What are you
Kirk?
talking about, the Ox
Because
man?
Niggas with aptitude is not a
Right.
fan.
So, okay. So, really quickly, because I'm Catholic and I do believe the creator of the universe looks at
W
all people.
Thomas, wow.
Yeah. So, I have an affinity for those who've died in tragedy. The problem is like I can't leave Charlie Kirk of enough energy to just only pose it to him. What we saw and what we saw yesterday is tragic, but 150,000 people die every day. I have people that I know who have died from drunken car
Yeah, they're
accidents.
not Charlie Kirk though, Thomas, man. Come on, put a little
I
bit more
know, I
respect,
don't know.
please. No,
And
don't
again,
try.
I don't
Okay,
know.
but
I'll
please
end
for a
my
second,
DEI.
man.
I'll end my
Thomas,
DEI
just one
plane. I'll
second,
end my
man.
plane.
We're not
Okay.
talking about a
So
black gangbanger who sells crack to children. We're not
I
talking
didn't.
about your
No. I'm
community,
not
man.
talking about that.
We're not
Children that
talking
I'm
went
about
to
talking.
somebody who
insane
died in a
college.
car
Listen.
accident. We're
Insane
talking
Again.
college.
about
Again.
Charlie
No,
Kirk, a
listen. What
Insane
you've
calculated, a
college.
done.
strategic,
No. Let me
Why would
finish.
you even
a
start that?
honorable
What you've
man.
done.
Come
What
on,
you've
Insane.
Thomas.
done
No,
is
Thomas,
no.
just stop trying to make Charlie Kirk one of the 150,000. He's not. He's 1 in 10 million, and maybe some people would argue that he's 1 in 100 million.
Okay. Listen. Charlie Kirk is an important figure on conservative right wing essence and politics. He is actually centrist to a lot of the far right guys that I've listened to. And there's a reason why you got a lot of white people and people in general on the right, not just white people. They'll sit there and say, if he's kind of a moderate guy, they're going to go even far right to do something towards the left, right? But the problem is, like, we have to look at it from a perspective of what happened to him. How do we look at what happens after him? And so, is it about policy? Is it about attacking what you perceive
Crypto
to be
Plumber
left-wing
in the
Democrat shit?
chat,
All
Sunrise
that.
Groiper.
Sorry, how many
What do
cities
you?
burned down
No.
today?
What's that?
How many cities burned down
Crypto
today?
Plumber.
Exactly. And so what you're going to
Charge
do is
double
you're
for
doing
being a
the
crypto
reverse
plumber.
chimp out card, and that's fine. White people typically don't chimp out once one of the representatives gets killed, right?
What?
And that's a thing that white people don't do. Now, the difference is, the reason why I can't compare that to, say, a Martin Luther King is because Martin Luther King is a solidifier at a time, in time and space when he was alive. It's not the same. It doesn't mean that Charlie Kirk is not important. It just means it's different for the time and space that we live.
Bro, I don't
Charlie
even know
Kirk
what's
dying
going on,
is
man.
important.
I don't
but
know.
it's
I don't know. These subversive tactics. I seriously don't. I get in these spaces, I fight, I battle, but I get lost so many fucking times. So many times.
What Charlie Kirk said. But there's some shit that he said about black people that I can't abide by. And you can't get mad at me that I disagree with what he said.
Like,
at the
for
time
instance,
when he
that
was alive.
George Floyd
Do you
died
see
from
how
a
many people
fentanyl
was-
overdose? Or what specifically did he say about black people? Give me a specific example, Thomas.
That's
Please
factual, by the
give
way.
me a specific example.
I'll give you a specific example.
Don't entertain
and
him, bro.
I'll double no. I'm gonna double down on what he said. Let's say it is 100% fact that George Floyd died by overdose.
Okay,
Does it
let's
mean
say that.
Listen, no. You asked me. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna land my plane, my 747 DEI plane.
Okay, shut the fuck up and land it.
Okay, so George Floyd, he died from drug overdose, but doesn't mean that Derek Chauvin should have done what he did. Yes or no?
It absolutely means Derek Chauvin should have done what he was taught to do.
Yes. He was trained to do that. Like every other police officer ever. And honestly,
so Derek Chauvin is a robot.
and honestly, I think Steven Crowder did a whole, what if thing. Steven Crowder did a whole
care about
test.
what race it is.
Well, now hold on a second. Wait.
No.
Hold on. I have a question.
Man, these people are so. They're so.
When we
mean,
saw the
this is
Sheik
just
Indian
insane.
who turned on the
This is
turnpike,
insane.
and he did a U-turn on that turnpike, and when 3 people died.
5 years sober for George Floyd. We're saying that in the chat right now.
We're
saying that in the chat right now. Let's get the reaction.
It was, it's the white people, they died. But as soon as we learned that those 3 people were Haitian,
holy shit, you guys.
side.
Wait, Thomas. No, Thomas, demoralization. Just listen. No, just listen. No, listen. George Floyd's been sober for 5 years. I just want to pay tribute to him right now. Shut the fuck up, Negus. George Floyd's been sober for 5 years.
Josiah, Thomas was talking.
Well, now I have a question for the blacks. Now, what positive contribution did George Floyd make to the country?
He made a lot of good pornography, I think. From what I've heard from the black people, he made the best pornography in the entire game.
I can answer it very quickly. George Floyd had a net negative on the population, but it doesn't mean his death wasn't undignified through injustice. Even if he
killed himself from taking fentanyl.
Drug overdose.
Okay.
How is that different from Hitler, in your opinion?
But it doesn't mean that Derek Chauvin didn't have to go retarded, autistic dumbass.
He didn't do that. He abided by what he was. No, he did what he was taught. He did what he was taught.
One moment,
he
y'all.
did
Hold
what
on,
he
hold
was
on.
taught.
I'm sorry, guys. I hate using the button. But one moment. Let me just clarify. So George Floyd had 3 times the lethal amount of fentanyl in his system.
You guys,
that
it's
is
not
why
about going
he died.
somewhere.
Now, that we don't.
If you guys are in the chat thinking, this is going nowhere, stop doing it, do something better, do something more effective, it's not about being effective. It's really not. There's about 300 people in this chat right now who are listening on this X space. So, it's not about this specific person. It's about the people who are listening.
In a public assassination execution because of his political views, because of the gravity of his positive contributions to this country, because he was a titan of politics, because, and like it or not, for better or worse, he was a titan of politics. Everyone here knows his name for a reason. Everyone here only knows George Floyd's name because blacks burned down like dozen American cities over his overdose on fentanyl
Objectively
while
true.
trying to rob a store.
Objectively true.
So that's just to clear up the facts there. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay. Oh, no, hold on. Let me respond. Let me rebuttal. Now, everything you said is true, but did a black person kill it? No, Negan, let me deal with these pathological fucking Harkonnen Getty Prime motherfuckers. Did a black person kill Charlie Kirk?
He always does that. Why does it matter, Thomas?
Matters for everything. Everything you just said in your fucking mind.
You don't even know. You
Well,
don't even know what
hold
you're
on,
talking
hold on
about.
a second.
It
doesn't
don't
sound.
do that, white man. You're
Now,
scared.
so
You're
far,
scared.
Thomas.
Why are you so fearful?
Did a black man kill the last African president?
Yeah, it could have been a black person. No, it could have been it could have been a black person.
Button. Now, it doesn't appear that Charlie Kirk was killed by a black man. However,
doesn't, right?
that is kind of beside the point, right?
Exactly.
The question is about
No, it isn't.
The question is about the equating of the two deaths, which that's irrelevant, right? Whether he was killed by a black person has nothing to do with whether.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about something real quick. People want to act like, oh my God, it was a white person who killed Charlie Kirk. So that's the point that we're supposed to take home, right? A white on white crime. That's what we're supposed to take home. Are we supposed to act like the 6% of the population that is committing roughly 50% of the homicide rate is not a viable suspect or would not be a viable suspect? Listen, it's not necessarily right now, but it's not like we're going to act like and be gaslit into thinking that this wouldn't be a valid speculation. They keep on trying to deflect and run from this.
Letting them turn George Floyd into a one-time incident.
Demoralized.
Black Lives Matter
I
wasn't about
know.
George Floyd.
No, listen. I'm not saying that I'm talking to the black guy in the space.
You don't have to say negus. You know the word, so you can say it.
You, white. I'm talking to the brother right now for a minute, for 10 seconds. Brother, they won't acknowledge the past, and they will be unobjective about it. So I have to meet them in the middle ground.
Crazy. It's like, what's the
I know
point?
it's crazy because they're pathological. They are Harkonnens. They're getting prime. Earth is their doom.
Yo, WD reference.
We are getting tired.
You
We
are,
don't
white
lie.
man.
We are
You have
very
to
getting
make up a
tired.
minute. You can't
You can
choose
pull
your
up
lane.
statistics. You can pull up past incidents left and
Make
right.
up your mind. Wait, make up your mind. Make up your mind. If Charlie Kirk's death, if there's nothing about raciality involved, why bring up George Floyd in the first place?
Exactly. Why are blacks bringing up George Floyd? Exactly.
MSNBC, CBS.
You brought up George Floyd.
They are bringing
Every
up,
single time we
they
talk
are
about
instantly
violence in this
saying,
country, the white man brings up George Floyd. I don't know nan nigga who talk about George Floyd. It's only the white man who brings up George Floyd.
I ain't breaking
Black
up.
people,
Mainstream
no,
media is
we're the
instantly.
inconvenient populace. We are what America.
Okay, so we're going to leave that chat. We're going to switch back over to something perhaps more insightful than Thomas screaming at the top of his lungs. Listen, we see something over here on Twitter. It says, ladies and gentlemen, 4chan may have found the Charlie Kirk killer, Jack Bellows, member of Democratic Socialists of America. Look at the shoes. Here's what he looks like. And I want to remind everybody, if you see something, say something. People need to be much more ambitious whenever it comes to calling the police. All right, you guys see something, say something. And if you guys see this person, say something about it. Here's another thread on the post. Just a southern boy in Utah, world suffering from chronic resting bitch face. Don't allow emotions to dictate gun policy. Tyrants should love nothing more than to capitalize on an evil tragedy as an excuse to confiscate your guns and limit your ability to protect yourself. That was what he had reposted. And now these posts are protected, but his repost was to a dig. If I wasn't so tired, I think I'd be throwing up right now, honestly.
No social media, no work. Turn your phone off for one day. No contact. No social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. So every Friday night, I take a Jewish Sabbath, turn off my phone, Friday night to Saturday night. The world cannot reach me, and I get nothing from the world. It will bless you infinitely. And I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
When he turns his phone off and it goes in that drawer, he's all on for the family. There is no distractions, and he finally gets to reset his brain. He finally gets to breathe. And as a wife, there is nothing more precious than my husband's sanity when it comes to everything that he's dealing with in his world.
Wow.
So I have seen it change him and impact our family in one of the most beautiful ways.
And it's made our family much tighter knit. And it says very clearly in the scriptures, for 6 days you shall work, and the 7th day you shall rest. It was important enough that God put it as one of the 10 commandments, and God rested after creation. Go back to God's natural rhythm. That is a day to go be with God and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness, noise of this world.
He used to, I always got upset when he said this. I always did, but he would say Shabbos on. He'd say Shabbos on Fridays. And I'm like, why do you keep on appealing to this, man? Stop it. But it's a hard truth. It's a hard truth. Get off. Take a break. Rest. Be present. Be there for one day. That's it. For one day. And this is emotionally motivating. This moves you. You feel this because it's the truth. It's objective truth. Take a day. Spend it with your family. You're not going to be here forever. They're not going to be how old they are forever. My daughter is about to turn 2. She'll never be 1 year old again. You only have 52 weeks, 52 days of present, specific, honorable time. And you guys have to. You really do have to take this seriously. And I think with that, we'll end the stream. Thank you guys. We had the most successful live stream in this entire YouTube channel's history. I'm humbled by this. I'm so thankful for all of you guys, everybody who tuned in. This was 50,000 views. I'm heartbroken. It's so bittersweet because these are the circumstances. But nonetheless, in everything, give God thanks. Give glory to God. And that's what we'll do tonight. And let's get rest. Let's go to war tomorrow. Let's get ready to fight. Let's get ready to be virtuous and put our families, put our God, put our people first, put our communities first, put what's right and what's moral first tomorrow. I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for you guys. And